What kind of man can have such influence? The top commander of China. Everyone respects him deeply, not daring to make a sound. Wherever he walks, others follow closely, standing at attention. He is that kind of person. When he was young, his mother risked her life to save him. I could only bear to throw him out of the car door. My parents could only perish in the sea along with the car. Now, 13 years have passed. Ning Bei returns to Longcheng, carrying his hatred. An old man on the ship accidentally stepped on a woman's shoe. Her boyfriend, Liang Xiao, wants to throw the old man into the sea to feed the fish. At this moment, Ning Bei arrived just in time. With me here, who dares to lay a finger on them? Liang Yu frowned. Who are you, daring to cause trouble for me? Ning Bei, with one hand in his pocket, asked, do you know who he is? Liang Yu, on the side, dismissed it. I don't care who this old man is. Ning Bei didn't waste any more words. He is the flame extinguisher of Dragon City. The roaring fire has protected countless people. He should be revered by thousands, but you insult and want to kill him. I am from the Liang family, you can't afford to offend me. Ning Bei walks up to him. Is the Liang family really that powerful? Then he grabbed Liang Yu and pulled him up. He threw him heavily to the ground. Ning Bei warned him. Longcheng has really fallen on hard times. He said he would let him see what real power is. Liang Yu was about to gather his men as soon as he got off the boat. Then he shouted at Ning Bei, kid, come down if you dare. Suddenly, a series of footsteps echoed from afar. Everyone had serious expressions, dressed in black with swords at their waists. The leader drew his sword and pointed it at Ning Bei, saying, the Tianbei General Assembly welcomes the return of the commander. Ning Bei slowly walked down. I'm just a commoner, no official title. Just call me by my name. We dare not be disrespectful, rules are rules. Who in the world dares call a commoner by name? Ning Bei told Xiao Mukan that receiving him like this is overstepping, and someone nearby said no one in Longcheng dares to touch him. Liang Yu saw the situation and immediately begged for mercy, but Xiao Muchen didn't intend to let him off. Then Ning Bei simply said that Liang Yu was wrong, but the others were innocent. Outside the dock. Grandma, we've been waiting for half an hour. Why is she putting on such airs? What fiancé makes their elders wait? I'm leaving. If you dare leave, I'll break your legs. At this moment, Ning Bei walked out. Grandmother hurried forward to greet him. Suddenly, a man with a scar blocked Ning Bei's path. Mu Chen, you're overstepping. The 5 great commanders each have their duties. Anyone who violates this will be reported and severely punished. These 2 men are Mu Chen, the tiger of Tianbei, and Zhang Zhongyuan, the blade of the Zhongbu station. Grandma explained to her granddaughter. Ning Bei stepped forward. Little Zhongyuan, I haven't seen you in years. Who do you intend to report for severe punishment? Zhang Zhongyuan immediately knelt on one knee. Zhang Zhongyuan, commander of Tianzhong, welcomes the king of Bei's return. Ning Bei told him to get up quickly. We are both commanders, there's no need for such humility. Zhang Zhongyuan, however, said that the 5 great commanders of the land are all commoners, humble ministers. Ning Bei saw the old lady coming to pick him up, and immediately stepped forward to pay his respects. Grandmother cried with tears in her eyes. My little Bei has gotten taller and thinner. 13 years have passed. Xiao Bei, you've grown up. Ning Bei said excitedly. If it weren't for Grandma protecting me back then, Xiao Bei would have probably already died. Then, Grandma introduced her granddaughter. This is Qing He. Then Ning Bei said, if you disagree with our marriage, you can cancel at any time. Su Qinghe was overjoyed when she heard this. But her grandmother, standing nearby, sternly said, you dare. Su Qinghe didn't care. Grandma, this is the 21st century. Who still arranges child marriages? Grandma glanced at Qinghe. This marriage was arranged between your grandfather Ning and our Su family. If you want to change it, only after I'm dead. The tone suddenly changed. Grandma said with a smile, Bei, do you know Zhang Zhongyuan and Hu Mukan from the central region? Ning Bei explained, I'm quite familiar with them. Zhang Zhongyuan used to be by my side, often wiping my war blade. Zhang Zhongyuan looked embarrassed. Not just anyone can do that. Su Qinghe didn't expect the dignified commander of Tianzhong to be his blade wiper. Is that really true? Then Ning Bei stated, Qinghe is the person Grandma likes, so she's the person I, Xiao Bei, will protect for my whole life. From now on, whoever dares to touch her will face the annihilation of their entire clan. Immediately inform the Central Plains and announce it globally in my name. If a single hair on her head is harmed, it will be the day the Northern King's blade descends. Qinghe thought this guy was bragging, even announcing it globally. When the old lady returned, everyone in the family went out to greet her. Everyone saw Ning Bei and they all showed expressions of disdain. What a distinguished guest. Isn't this Ning Bei? That car accident back then wasn't an accident. You should break off the engagement. Leaving Ning Bei is the best course of action. Others echoed their sentiments. Su Qinghe knew these people were all power-hungry, petty individuals. Seeing this, Zhang Zhongyuan prepared to draw his sword. The old woman beside him frowned. Xiao Bei is the son-in-law of the Su family. As long as I, this old woman, am still alive, no outsider will dare to bully him. Grandma, I've told you, I don't agree to the marriage. Ning Bei also said he can treat her as a sister. The man breaking off the engagement will damage Qinghe's reputation. Please have the Su family write the letter. At this moment, Qinghe thought Ning Bei wasn't bad either. Boy, you're wise. It should be us breaking off the engagement. Zhang Zhongyuan could no longer tolerate it. He shouted, go ahead and try breaking off the engagement. Dare you? Who dares to flatten your Su family tonight? Who do you think you are, trying to destroy my Su family? Who gave you the courage? Zhang Zhongyuan starts introducing himself. Who am I? I am the commanding officer of Qinzhong. Destroying your Su family is no big deal. Mo Chen has also arrived. The northern commander's Mu Chen could destroy your Su family. A man in a trench coat suddenly appeared. The western commander Guo Baifeng could destroy your Su family. And I, the southern commander Chang Yi, could destroy your Su family. Guo Baifeng and Chang Yi respectfully welcomed the northern king's return. The Su family members were so scared they were dumbfounded. What is this? Where did such a huge entourage come from? Making a movie. Mu Chen is provoking the Su family. Are you guys that good? 4 of us should be enough today. A junior suddenly pops out and boasts. Anyone can do that. Ning Bei is preparing to let them see. Then Zhong Yuan uses his wristband to make a call. Issue A1 alert. Once the A1 alert is activated, all 72 regions will be placed under martial law. The woman asks if the Dragon Guard really plans to activate it. Ning Bei thinks 72 regions might be too much. Let's first seal one region. The woman takes a deep breath. The person next to me just saw how the commander-in-chief greeted the person beside them. The woman only said 4 words, but scared everyone. That was a commoner. Could a commoner really be the northern overlord who was deified in the mortal world? King of the North, Ning Bei, his file is on the 9th floor of the building. Even I can't get in. Ning Bei, why is there no movement despite all this commotion you've caused? You didn't hire extras for 200 yuan, did you? The man was completely stunned when he saw his phone. The Su family started to panic, because their phones suddenly lost all signal. In these few minutes, all the phone signals were cut off. Could it really be this kid? Several figures approached at this time. Dragon Guard operation. Unrelated personnel, clear the area immediately. The leader gave the order. The incident occurred at the Su family. Take everyone away. The Su family members were all shocked, as if struck by lightning. Ning Bei told his grandmother not to worry. He just gave him a lesson, that's all. Nothing will happen. Ning Bei said he should leave now. He needs to go back to the Ning family. Grandmother suddenly spoke up. That incident happened 13 years ago. Yes, in 13 years. I'll never forget that freezing rain night. Grandma Qinghe, I'm leaving now, see you later. Then Grandma said, your mother isn't dead. This stopped Ning Bei in his tracks. She's a professor at Jida University. You'll know once you go. Ning Bei didn't look back and strode away. At this moment, at Longqing University, a middle-aged woman is teaching while sitting in a wheelchair. And Ning Bei has already entered the classroom. The person teaching is his mother. Ning Bei told him to stop fooling around. They had serious business to attend to. The next moment, he received the Bei Wang Dao. Looking at this domineering blade that had slain countless enemies, this return to the capital must be sealed with blood. Ning Bei told the others not to follow too closely. He would call them when he needed them. Ning Bei told him to show more respect to the teacher. The man laughed and said, why are you meddling in this? Is she your mother? Ning Bei suddenly took a step forward. He grabbed the man and slammed him against the desk. He looked toward his mother in the classroom. The woman recognized Ning Bei at a glance. Although Ning Bei had changed somewhat in the past 13 years, she was still able to recognize that this was her child at once. At that moment, a man was cleaning the campus at the university. The next moment, he suddenly stopped. The woman spoke, look at who he is. The man asked, is this our buyer? Ning Bei shouted, Dad, it's me. The two men embraced each other, but neither of them said a word. The next moment, his dad told him to hurry back. He said it's still not safe here. Mom and Dad, don't worry. I dare to set foot on this land again. For 13 years of grievance, I, Ning Bei, will use the Northern King's blade to wash away this shame. At this time, several figures approached. The girl called for her father. They say Ning Bei beat up her boyfriend. Who are you? You're the one who injured a student in the classroom just now. Ning Canlon, what's your relationship with him? Ning Bei's father was startled and replied, he's my son, the vice principal. Like father, like son. Don't forget, you begged me on your knees for this job. I can fire you anytime I'm in a bad mood. Ning Bei asked, kneeling down. When did that happen? Forget it, this person is from the Ning family. Ning Bei sneered, so you're just a lackey of the Ning family. The vice principal furiously shouted, do you dare say that again? Ning Bei turned around and shouted, kneel properly. With a single swipe, he unleashed a burst of spiritual energy. It struck the vice principal's leg directly. In an instant, the vice principal's legs gave out and he collapsed to the ground. A group of people were shocked speechless by this scene. Ning Bei said, "Leave. For all the insults you've suffered over the years, I will settle the score with each and every one of them." The vice principal's pants were already soaked. He discovered his leg was broken. Ning Bei arrived at the place where his parents live. His mother told him to buy more vegetables later. She wants to make a big meal today. The moment the door was opened, Ning Bei froze in shock. All these years, I can't believe my own parents are living in a place like this. Dad said, aside from being a little damp, it's actually not bad here. Ning Bei spoke up, "Zhong Yuan, go get someone to clean up. We're moving to the Ning family house now." Mother told Ning Bei to just forget it. It's already been so many years. Forget it, how can I calculate? 13 years ago, on a rainy night, we were hunted down and had nowhere to go. My grandfather was also cruelly murdered by them. This time back to the capital, I will kill 3 people. The first is the Ning family, Ning Fugua. At this moment, a voice rang out. Yan Guilai, commander of the East China region, returning with the Northern King's blade. He performed a bow before Ning Bei. Then he spoke, "Big brother, may I borrow this blade for a few days?" Su Qing's admirer approached. His face was full of mockery. "A third-rate, fly-by-night school, just a name to fool people, right?" Du Yang told him to stop talking nonsense. His brother is from Baoyang Military Academy. The man remained unconcerned. "You must have burned a lot of incense at your ancestral grave." Yan Guilai asked Zhang Zhongyuan. "The Northern King's blade is drawn. Unstoppable. What kind of person is this, forcing old Ning to personally draw his blade?" But Zhang Zhongyuan wouldn't tell him. Yan Guilai laughed. "I won't say. Then I'll go and destroy your ancestral graves. We're going to the Ning family now. The opponent isn't that strong. But this can't just end like this. I carry the North King's blade today. I've come to offer condolences and congratulations. My gift, a top-grade coffin, and a large iron bell from Dragon City in the north. I wish the old birthday star a happy extermination today." Just now, at the Ning family's doorstep, one by one, dignitaries came to celebrate Mr. Ning's birthday. The general manager of Yuan Xing Group presented a pair of golden Buddhas. The eldest son of the Liang family presented a century-old wild ginseng root, 16 pairs of jade bracelets. The chairman of the Dongfang family sent 3 pieces of Ming Dynasty blue and white porcelain, wishing Mr. Ning a long and healthy life. Suddenly, a series of mournful cries echoed outside the Ning family's gate. A large group of people solemnly carried a coffin. Ghost money fluttered down from the sky, and arrived at the Ning family's gate. Yan Bugue laughed. An old friend from last year sent a gift, an iron bell, and a 100-year-old coffin. Dong, asterisk, sound of a bell. Cha Jia placed the bell in the center of the Ning family's front gate. But that wasn't all. Yan Bugue had the people behind him start crying. The louder and more miserable, the better. A group of birthday guests, shouting angrily. Giving a clock as a birthday present is so inauspicious. Could someone be daring enough to cause trouble at the Ning family? At this time, the birthday celebrant came out. "Young man, I dare ask, has the Ning family offended you in any way?" "No, this is my first time in Longcheng. There's no such thing as offending me. What's wrong? Don't you like the gift I sent? This is an antique carefully selected from the ancient capital of Longcheng, dating back 8 dynasties. Such a large clock is hard to find even in the northern territories." Ning Fugua was startled, hearing northern territories. He instantly thought of someone. At that very moment, he saw Ning Kanglin and Qin Huilan. So that young man was their son. Ning Bei, who escaped to the northern border years ago. Ning Bei spoke. "I, Ning Bei, the eldest grandson of the 3rd generation of the Zong family, wish second grandfather a long life." A group of people began to discuss. "Isn't Ning Bei the child who fled from the Ning family 13 years ago? I heard he was chased for 3 days and nights back then." Ning Fugua laughed and said, "So it's your family that has arrived. Huilan, this wheelchair is a bit old. I'll get you a new one tomorrow." Ning Kanglin, "Ha, no need to pretend. Stop pretending to be kind like a cat weeping for a mouse. TCH, you still have the nerve to come to the Ning family. Get out of here if you know what's good for you." Ning Fugua, "Ha, you're being rude." He waved his hand, signaling Ning Bei and his family to come in and talk. "Family matters should not be aired outside. Wait until we get inside, then I'll show you how to shut the door and deal with it." Ning Bei didn't refuse, and the 3 of them went straight in. Just then, someone deliberately gave his father a subtle signal. It almost caused his father to fall. Fortunately, Ning Bei caught him. "What's all this about?" "It's time for birthday wishes. There's plenty of time to kneel later in the main hall." Ning Bei told me to ignore him. The real show is just beginning. The 3 of them are the main characters. They can't be absent. Yan Bugue came out smiling. He said he would take care of the behind-the-scenes cleanup. In an instant, he pulled out 2 knives. He threw them violently, piercing the legs of the man just now. Several people beside him were startled. "Those are the Baoyang knives unique to the northern border." Ning Fugua was furious. "Ning Bei, this is going too far. Too far. This is merely the appetizer. The worst is yet to come. Ning Fuguo was shocked. What do you want to do? Do you dare to lay a hand on the Ning family? Today, King Pei Bei comes with a sword, and he intends to wipe out the entire Ning family. How about that? At this moment, inside the Ning family's attic, Ning Fuguo was smiling as he entertained guests from all sides. Thank you all for coming to my birthday banquet. At this time, the front door was suddenly pushed open. Several figures walked in. A domineering roar sounded. From the Ning family, Ning Bei wishes second grandfather boundless blessings and longevity. Hearing the name Ning Bei, the Ning family members all looked towards the gate. Ning Fuguo was slightly startled, but then smiled. What a fine young man. What boundless blessings and longevity. I'll accept your well wishes, you've got guts. Suddenly, a man with a middle part in his hair walked over. He rebuked Ning Bei, saying he was being disrespectful. How can you not kneel when younger generations pay their respects to an elder? Yan Guilai asked him, which toilet did you crawl out of, you dung beetle? Are you asking me, little master? My name is Liang Xiaolong. If you mention my name in Longsheng, most people will give me some face. Yan Guilai smiled. So it's Liang Xiaolong. Sorry, I haven't heard of you. Zhao Shi, the chairman of Dongfeng Textile, laughed. Such a country bumpkin doesn't even know the great name of Liang Xiaolong. Yan Guilai, let Xiao Yuanshan come in and deal with this. Ning Fuguo was immediately shocked when he saw Xiao Yuanshan. Yan Guilai pointed and said, this guy just insulted me. How should we handle it? Chop him up and feed him to the dogs. Zhang Zhongyuan spoke up. Alright, stop causing trouble. Seize all his assets as a punishment. Xiao Yuanshan bowed and replied, yes. Yan Guilai slapped Liang Xiaolong hard. You started it. You're the culprit. Qin Huilan said. Xiao Bai, what did you promise mommy before you came? Ning Bei told Yan Guilai to stop. Ning Fuguo pondered. He didn't know the origins of those few people. They must have bribed team leader Xiao. They're here to back up this wild brat. Then he spoke to Xiao Yuanshan. My Ning family and your group have always kept to ourselves. Today's matter is an internal affair of the Ning family. Team leader Xiao wants to interfere. Ning Bei says family matters should be resolved by the family. All irrelevant personnel, leave. Soon, a group of guests left the attic in a heavy rain. Only the Ning family and Ning Bei's group remain in the hall. That abandoned child from back then is quite something. He actually managed to get the Dragon City Group section chief Xiao to come. That must have cost a pretty penny, right? Too bad he's left too. Who else can protect you now? Yan Guilai chuckled. These fools think their backing is Xiao Yuanshan. Send his whole family on the road 3 times, make it clean. Ning Bei didn't expect it, huh? The Ning family has also trained its own junior martial artists. At this moment, Qin Huilan and Ning Kanglin looked at Ning Bei with some worry. Ning Kanglin was alive but wasn't planning to waste time. He planned to send a family of 3 on their way with one step. But just as his finger was 2 inches from Ning Bei, he found he couldn't move it an inch further. Ning Bei, holding the Bei Wang Dao, roared, kneel. With a thud, Ning Song, who had been so arrogant just moments ago, now knelt before Ning Bei, his legs weak. This shocked the entire Ning family. What on earth is going on? Ning Song, trembling slightly, spoke. He is a war god level expert. Ning Fuguo and Ning Songhai were shocked on the spot. They seemed to have just heard war god level. Ning Bei's aura surged once again, charging towards the Ning family. In an instant, everyone was forced to kneel, gasping for breath. They showed expressions of terror. Yan Guilai smiled and said, my brother entered the warrior level at the age of 7, after just 1 month. His talent is beyond what you can compare to. A drop of cold sweat rolled down Ning Fuguo's forehead. How is this possible? The abandoned child from those years actually possesses such talent. Yan Guilai continued. He reached the king realm at the age of 17. He was appointed a king, but he calls himself a commoner, refusing the title of king. Otherwise, you should be kneeling and bowing before the king of Ningbei. Qin Huilan covers her mouth. She knew her son had suffered these past years, but she never imagined it would be this hard. Ningbei tells her not to worry. Aren't I fine now? That rainy night 13 years ago, grandfather was forced to his death right here in this hall by all of you. My 4th uncle even helped me escape. While he stood alone in front of the Ning family, he was stabbed through the heart by Ning Songhai, nailed to the Mingtang gate. I, Ning Bei, will never forget that rainy night. My grandfather cherished me, and my 4th uncle treated me as his own son. Revenge must be taken, hatred must be quenched. Ning Fuguo's face changed drastically, shouting that he knew he was wrong. He begged Ning Bei to give him a chance, for the sake of their kinship. You had the chance, that rainy night. You chased us mother and son to the ends of the earth with no escape. But did you ever think about giving us a chance? If it weren't for my grandmother from the Su family braving the rain to come, that night, Ning Bei might have really died at your hands. So today's matter cannot be resolved peacefully. None of you Ning family are innocent. Having said that, Ning Bei pulled out the Bei Wang Dao and plunged it into the ground. Ning Fugua, knowing his fate was sealed, cried out, "Retribution." The next moment, he abruptly stood up, trying to draw his sword. He couldn't move it. "It's like it's grown into the ground." Ning Bei laughed. "This sword weighs 720 jin. You, a mere ant, dare to shake this knife." In an instant, he gripped the hilt of the knife. With a fierce swing, he struck Ning Fugua, slashing his throat. Blood spilled on the spot. Ning Canghai saw his father being killed, and charged forward, intending to fight Ning Beiyu to the death. But the result was that the path led straight to the blade, and hatred was carried to the northwest. After killing those from that year, Ning Bei said, "Fourth uncle, you can rest in peace now." The members of the Ning family saw both the clan leader and the family head killed together, and they all trembled. "Ning Sanggu, from now on, you will kneel here for the rest of your life. My father's humiliation, my mother's suffering. I will make you feel it." Ning Bei left his father to take over everything in the Ning family. The position of family head was rightfully his, and he's going to offer incense at my second and fourth uncle's graves. Outside, Xiao Yuanshan took out a coat and put it on Ning Bei. At this moment, a black sedan happened to stop at the entrance. Lu Gui yelled, "Who's there?" An elderly man slowly got out of the car. He said, "I want to see this abandoned child of the Ning family, who disappeared 13 years ago. How dare you injure even me, Liang's eldest grandson?" April. He unleashed the might of a war god. Ning Bei waved his hand, and an invisible force surged forth. Liang Feidao, a mere martial artist, couldn't react in time. Hit in the chest by a powerful force. Old Master Liang was shocked. With a single blow, the Liang family's only martial artist was rendered completely defenseless. Liang Feidao's blood surged. He even spat out a mouthful of watermelon juice. At this time, Ning Kanglin walked out. "I didn't know second Uncle Liang was coming. I failed to greet you properly." Ning Canlan, who was expelled from the Ning family, has actually returned. Ning Canlan said, "Second Uncle Liang, you've come a long way. My son lacks manners and hasn't offered proper hospitality. Please forgive him. With your personal visit, we should have prepared a grand welcome." Old Master Liang stared at the Ning family with a grim face. His expression softened considerably. He said, "I appreciate your courtesy." Ning Kanglin went to the side of the gate to welcome the Liang family. Mr. Liang strode into the Mingtang Hall. As soon as he entered the Mingtang Hall, he saw rows of men in black, each wearing a sword. They hadn't expected the Ning family to have hidden so many people. F was even more surprised. Ning Sanggu was kneeling in the center of the Ning family's ancestral hall. Although Old Master Liang was shocked inside, he pretended not to see and strode forward, until he saw the bloodstains all over the ground in front of the ancestral hall. He knew that something big had indeed happened to the Ning family today. He regrets it now. He should have listened to old Madame Su's advice earlier. The Ning family is now in turmoil. He even took the initiative to stir the pot. Ning Bei asked Grandma Su to take the seat of honor. Old Master Liang's face turned extremely ugly, and he sat down beside him. Old Madame Su asked Qinghe to check on Ning Bei's mother. Old Master Liang forced a smile and asked, "When did Kanglin return to the Ning family?" Old Madame Su said, "Kanglin's return is more than just a simple return. He is now the new head of the Ning family. We still have to rely on the two elders for guidance and help." He then introduced his son. With a son like this, the Ning family will prosper. Brother Liang, the Liang family also has many rising stars. Xiaolong and the others are also very outstanding. Even old Master Liang felt a bit embarrassed hearing this. Compared to Xiao Bei, he's a joke. The old score is settled. It's getting late, old man. I should be going. Ning Kanglin stood up and saw the man out to the Mingtang. After going outside, Mr. Liang said, "The abandoned son of the Ning family has returned. It seems Longcheng is about to be engulfed in bloodshed." Ning Kanlan asked Ning Bei why he needed to go out so late. Ning Bei said he was going to see his second and fourth uncles. Soon he arrived at the cemetery, but the two tombstones in the cemetery had been thrown aside. The urns inside were empty. The tombstone clearly reads, "This is the tomb of Ning Cangnan." In the rainy night, the god of war, Ning Bei Wang, looked at the tombstone that had been shattered open. A cold, bone-chilling voice rang out, "Check." The commanders who heard it all shuddered in fear. The security office of the cemetery was kicked open with a single strike. Zhang Zhongyuan entered with a cold expression on his face. The security guard was startled and asked, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" Two graves in the northwest corner of the cemetery, whose ashes of Ning Cangnan and Ning Cangshang were taken. Hearing that they were here to inquire about this matter, the security guard's expression suddenly became unnatural. He stammered, I don't know." Zhang Zhongyuan didn't want to waste any more words. He instantly drew his Baoyang Dao. He gave him the choice to talk now or die now. The terrified security guard immediately knelt down with a thud. It was a young couple who stole it. It was all 7 years ago. Zhang Zhongyuan told him to recount everything that happened 7 years ago without missing a single detail. The security guard, weeping and sobbing, was scared to tears. 7 years ago, that couple gave me 100,000 yuan, and told me not to tell anyone. A bankbook showing 100,000 yuan was thrown in front of him. "This 100,000 is yours." In the rainy night, Ning Bei quietly caressed his uncle's tombstones. A moment later, Zhang Zhongyuan walked over. Ning Bei asked, "Did you find out?" "Am took the urn." This is the description of the two individuals provided by the security guard. The authorities are having a professional sketch artist draw them. Mu Chen is in charge of the North China region. He commands all the martial artists in the 5 provinces of North China. He exercises the authority of a commander. He leads all special operations teams. After speaking, Ning Bei turned and left. The central commanders all bowed to see King Ning Bei off. The Ning family's mansion was still brightly lit late into the night. Ning Kanglin looked helpless in his office. Ning Bei asked, "Aren't you resting this late?" He came over to check the accounts on the desk and spoke, "There seems to be an issue." Ning Kanglin said with a bitter expression, "This is a huge problem. The company's shares are all mortgaged to the bank, currently in debt of 8 billion. Ning Bei smiled after hearing this. He said, "It's not a difficult matter. Just leave this to me." Qin Huilan and Su Qinghe approached. She said, "Lao Ning, don't always make things difficult for your son." Ning Bei asked Qinghe, "You didn't go back?" "Grandma asked me to stay and chat with Aunt Qin." Qin Huilan told Ning Bei not to worry about it. Let his father handle it. Just one phone call and it's done. He took out his phone and dialed an international call. "If there's something, please make an appointment for 9 a.m. tomorrow. Tell him that Beijing Bui is looking for him. Call me back in 1 minute." This doesn't look like asking for a favor at all. Ning Bei left, saying to have the kitchen prepare some late-night snacks. He doesn't know how to speak politely when asking for help. No wonder people don't want to help him. The next moment, Ning Bei's phone rang. It was a return video call. Ning Kanglin immediately answered it. Su Qinghe was shocked to see the person in the video. How is this possible? That's Joss, the world's richest man. Ning Kanglin instantly lost his composure. This is the small fry his son was talking about. Joss, seeing that the other person wasn't Ning Bei, asked in return, "You are?" Ning Kanglin explained, he is Ning Bei's father. Ning Bei just went out. He'll be back soon. If you're busy, I'll have Ning Bei call you later. A drop of sweat fell from Xiao Xi's forehead. He said, "My time is very flexible. No rush." At this moment, Ning Bei walked in holding some fruit. Ning Kanglan quickly said, "Mr. Jones is looking for you." When Jones saw Ning Bei, he spoke, "Lord Jinbei." Ning Bei smiled and said, "This is not the border. Just call me Ning Bei." Joss explained that he had something to attend to just now. His phone wasn't with him. Otherwise, he would have answered the phone immediately. Ning Bei said, "I called you to remind you that it's time to repay the favor from those years. Commander Ning, 3 years ago, my Chiao family of 4. It was you who saved me in the north. Even if it costs me all my assets today, I, Joss, wouldn't hesitate. Su Qinghe knows this. Ning Bei is her lifesaver. No wonder she respects Ning Bei so much." At that moment, Ning Bei asked his father how much he needed. This made Ning Kanglan a little embarrassed. He said hesitantly, "The amount might be quite large. It's 80 billion to repay the bank loan, plus some other debts." Xiao Si laughed, "I'll transfer 10 billion to you immediately. For saving Ning Juanju's life back then, this money can't possibly repay it." Ning Bei asked if 10 billion was enough. Xiao Si immediately spoke, "Or should I transfer another 10 billion US dollars? Ning Kanglan couldn't sit still anymore. If this were converted to US dollars, it would be absolutely enough. With so much, he felt a little embarrassed. "Mr. Xiao, it's too much money. If it were in US dollars, 20 billion would be more than enough." Xiao Si was also straightforward. "Father Ning will give as much as he asks for." Ning Kanglan said thank you. "This money will be paid back to Joss with both principal and interest." "Ning brother, this money is a gift, no need to repay." Ning Kanglan said he must repay this money. Otherwise, the Ning family will not accept it. He exclaimed, "This Joss is truly an honest and good businessman." Ning Bei smiled, "This guy is honest. A world's richest businessman being honest." "Everything settled," Ning Bei said. "It's getting late, let's go to sleep. Qinghe, you have an exam tomorrow, right?" "I'm free tomorrow, I'll give you a ride to school." The next morning, Ning Bei and Su Qinghe arrived at Longqing University. The driver got out, opened the door, and a woman approached. "Qinghe, you're actually taking a Ning family car to school today. Who sent you?" Ning Bei ignored her in the car. Her best friend asked Su Qinghe who that handsome man in the car was. "Could it be your childhood sweetheart, Ning Bei?" The girl asks where Ning Bei is attending university now. Su Qinghe explains that Ning Bei never went to university. "I haven't been to a regular university, but I attended Beiyang Military Academy. I don't know if that counts as university." Tu Yang, her classmate, is startled. "You said you went to Beiyang Military Academy." She bowed and said, "Lord Bei Wang." Su Qinghui was startled by the address. Bei Wang. The woman introduced herself, saying her name was Mu Shi, and that she was the CEO of PG Group's Asia-Pacific Investment Zone. The Asia-Pacific Investment Zone received an electronic document from the CEO of Daibu Group, Joss. "You let your brother get into such a lousy university. Is that enough?" Suddenly, a figure got out of the car. It was Ning Bei. He quickly walked toward the man who had just mocked and insulted the Beiyang Military Academy. Su Qinghe thought to herself, "This is bad. He's definitely going to lose it when he comes down." Su Qinghe quickly went over and stopped Ning Bei. "Let her go home first." Their intimate actions further enraged Shi Jingxian, her pursuer. He spoke. "You're the childhood betrothed of Qinghe, Ning Bei, right? You say you're from the Beiyang Military Academy? That's really hard to believe. Is this some remote, unheard of university? I've never even heard of it." Ning Bei just laughed, as if looking at a fool. Such a look was a great insult to Shi Jingxian. He trembled with anger. Then Ning Bei suddenly spoke to Ganihua. "You don't need to know about the existence of the Beiyang Military Academy." His girlfriend on the side immediately became unhappy, feeling that Ning Bei was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. He even cursed her share. Su Qinghe quickly told her best friend to ignore him. Tu Yang explained excitedly, "Beiyang Military Academy isn't somewhere anyone can get into. You must enroll before the age of 16 with a 5-year program. Upon graduation, you'll be either an officer or a general." Shi Jingxian asked, "You graduated from the Beiyang Military Academy. What's your rank now?" Ning Bei said he was just a commoner. "At least you're smart," Shi Jingxian continued. "If you dare to impersonate an officer, I'll make sure you rot in prison." Tu Yang, who was nearby, was shocked to hear commoner. Su Qinghe spoke up in defense of her husband. "Ning Bei never lies. He doesn't even bother to lie." Shi Jingxian, "Stop picking a fight, saying he's making things difficult for me. You're overestimating him. Go to class. I'll pick you up after I'm done this afternoon." Su Qinghe asked him, "What are you going to do?" Ning Bei chuckled and replied, "I'll go kill someone first." Shi Jingxian laughed. "Qinghe is a bit of a lunatic. Could it be the result of a complex from a recent marriage?" Ning Bei was completely furious. An aunt repeatedly provoking him. Su Qinghe quickly intervened. "You promised Aunt Qing. I don't fight with people." Ning Bei, "This intention to kill should be dismissed. I understand now. He's from the Shi family, right? Since you know, stay away from Qinghe. I am someone you can't provoke." Ning Bei turned around and said, 8 p.m. tonight. Have Shi Chuanjia wait in the hall. Tell him to await Ning Bei's arrival with respect. Shi Zhengxian angrily scolded, what are you? Do you think my uncle should wait for you? Go to the hospital and get your brain checked. At this moment, Ning Bei's killing intent arose again. The surrounding temperature plummeted instantly. Ning Bei swept his hand. An invisible force sent Shi Zhengxian flying. Shi Zhengxian cried out in pain, clutching his arm. Su Qinghe looked speechless. He's hopeless. She had warned him repeatedly, yet he still insisted on courting death. Ning Bei finished everything and sped off. He returned home and saw his mother, Qin Huilan, in the hall. Qin Huilan said, why don't you let your uncle get up? Let it be. After all, he's already knelt all night. Ning Bei said, Mom, don't you worry about this. He's the one who hunted us all night in the rain that night. We can't just let this go. And I said when I returned, there were 3 people I must kill. The second is Qin Fenghe of the Qin family. Ning Bei told his mother not to say any more. This man, he must kill him. That year, in the biting wind and rain, mother fled to her family home, desperately begging for protection, but that door never opened. 7-year-old Ning Bei told her not to beg them. It's no big deal, even if it means death. Ning Bei's 4th uncle told them they had to leave. The people behind are catching up. Uncle Ning Tsangnan also spoke, sister-in-law, let's go. Qin Huilan shouted to the person behind the door. After all, Bei'er is also the Qin family's grandson. Why be so ruthless? In the rainy night, Ning Tsangnan prepared to leave with Ning Bei and his mother. Suddenly, the large door slowly opened. But what awaited them was a cold, large blade. Uncle Ning Tsangnan was killed right before Ning Bei. Seeing his second older brother killed, Ning Laosi instantly flew into a rage. In front of the Qin family's gate, a man holding a sharp knife quietly watches. And today, Ning Bei returns in the name of the god of war. He is going to kill the second in the Qin family. Soon, the Ning family's car arrived at the Qin residence. A group of security guards saw that it was Ning family's car, and dared not block the way. Tell the butler to open the main gate and welcome us. Ning Bei looked at the familiar gate. On that rainy night, the vermilion gate of his grandfather's house was tightly shut. Qin Huilan also recalled what happened that year. She sighed softly. She called out, Tsangnan. The car quickly drove into the inner courtyard of the Qin family. A group of people were already waiting at the entrance. The head of the Qin family came to the car window and said, look, you've arrived home, why don't you get out of the car? Ning Bei spoke from inside the car, it's simple. I want the head of the Qin family to suffer a slight inconvenience. Personally come and open the car door for me. This left the Qin family head momentarily at a loss. Behind him, a group of people were whispering amongst themselves. The young people in that car are too disrespectful. After a moment, the Qin family head forced a smile. It's nothing. I'll be right there to open it. But when the car door opened, what I saw were Ning Kanglin and Qin Huilan. Qin Huilan's second brother and the head of the Qin family were both shocked. Qin Huilan looked at these familiar faces and called out, second brother. I'm not your second brother. And you are no longer a member of the Qin family. The head of the Qin family instantly changed his expression and shouted at the security guards. What are you doing? Why aren't you throwing him out yet? He angrily cursed, completely furious. I thought it was Ning Sanhai coming. Ning Bei had already gotten out of the car at this moment. He spoke up, in such a hurry to drive people away. Is it because you're feeling guilty about something from back then? The head of the Qin family asked about you. Who are you? My Qin family is one of the 7 great families. In Longcheng, we don't need to feel guilty in front of anyone. Ning Kanlan got out of the car with a file bag. Not necessarily. He then handed it to Qin Huilan's second brother. Ning Kanlan told him to see for himself. He pushed Qin Huilan and they walked into the Qin family's main hall. What's inside that scared you so much? This document is our contract with Ning Corporation. The eldest of the Qin family also looked surprised. Why would these documents end up in Ning Kanlan's hands? Ning Kanlan then responded. You've seen the contents of the documents, haven't you? Then come in and let's terminate the contract. Today, with just one sentence, you want to cancel these 18 projects. You have exhausted all the funds of the Qin family. Can you, Ning Kanglin, represent the Ning family? And on what grounds are you canceling the contract? What grounds does the Ning family have to cancel it? These words startled everyone in the Qin family. That's absolutely impossible. Ning Corporation has always been solely controlled by Ning Sanghai. He wouldn't give it to anyone, not even you, Ning Sanglan. At that moment, Qin Tingshan pulled out his phone to call Ning Sanghai. Ning Bei, however, made no move at all. He just quietly watched, as if watching a clown. Big brother Qin asked, what's going on? What's the situation? Ning Sanghai didn't answer the phone. I'll try calling Ning Fugua and see. The result was that the phone call went through, but no one answered. Big brother Qin said, then call Ning Sanggu. This time, the call went through. Ning Sang, what is going on with your Ning family? Why suddenly send Ning Kanglin to terminate the contract? On the other end of the phone, they replied, he has gone to find you. Qin Tingshan asked who he was. That person was Ning Bei, the abandoned child of the Ning family 13 years ago. What exactly happened? That made Ning Sanggu, one of Longqing's top 10 martial artists, so afraid. Ning Kanglin didn't want to waste any more words with him. The Qin family didn't know what to do for a moment. We definitely can't sign it. But not signing it means we're afraid of impending disaster. You need to persuade Kanglin. He can't push our family to ruin. You weren't like this back then. Speaking of which, Ning Kanglin also looked furious. Back then, when Huilan and I got married, I leveraged all the Ning family's resources to elevate your Qin family from a third-rate small company to one of the 7 great families. What I, Ning Kanglin, could give you back then, I now have the same ability to take it back. And just then, a voice sounded from the entrance. Qin Laoda felt much more relieved when he saw Lao San arrive. A strong killing intent was about to erupt. Ning Bei looked at the approaching person, and a chilling voice rang out. The man who killed his second uncle years ago appeared. Ning Bei's killing intent caused the heavens and earth to change color. Just now, Qin Fenghe, the third son of the Qin family, appeared. He made the eldest brother, the head of the Qin family, sign the contract. This left the eldest brother rather puzzled. He asked what it meant. Qin Fenghe spoke, I imagine, eldest brother. You've also received the news recently, haven't you? The Ning family isn't doing much better than we are. They've invested over 10 billion in the new district. It's already severely weakened them. The pressure to recover their entire investment is immense. They're ignoring us. The Ning family is even more vulnerable, alone and struggling. But there's one thing, this new district, this money-guzzling monster. It's good that we stopped in time, but the projects that belong to us must be given to us. Qin Fenghe held the contract and spoke to Ning Kanlan. Ning Kanlan came to the Su family. Naturally, he was prepared. I knew you'd pull this stunt, the things that belong to you. I've already arranged everything for you. Check it yourselves. They took the second contract Ning Kanglin offered. The 3 Qin brothers were stunned. The next moment, they angrily threw the contracts on the ground. Qin Feng shouted, your Ning family is being too much. Ning Kanglin spokely. Today, I will deceive the Qin family. These 3 small projects won't bring in a profit exceeding 2 billion. My Qin family has invested 60 billion with you. Qin Fenghe suddenly raised his hand to stop his older brother from signing. Qin Laoda was stunned again, asking Lao San, are you crazy? This can be signed. Big brother, listen to me, the Liang family is willing to invest. After the 3 projects are completed, it will be enough to repay the bank loan. After that, the Qin family can recover. These words immediately shocked Boss Su. It was like a timely help in a snowstorm. The Qin family was saved. The few of them immediately signed the agreement in the contract. At that moment, Ning Kanglin's phone rang. He told Ning Bei that it was a call from Xiao Si. Let him answer and see what it's about. The Qin family members were shocked. Is it Zhou's? Could it be that world's richest person? Impossible, how could he know someone like that? At this moment, Zhou's, who was abroad, was having a video call with Ning Kanglin. I hope I'm not disturbing your lunchtime. Ning Kanlan asked him if there was something wrong with his sudden call. Xiao Si also explained his purpose. All the directors of PG Group have just unanimously agreed to inject capital into your Ning family. This shocking piece of news directly stunned Ning Kanlan. He was momentarily stunned. Joss continued. Our PG Group is willing to provide $10 billion in funding, in exchange for 10% of Ning Corporation's shares. What do you think? Such a cross-national collaboration left the entire Qin family speechless. They were all dumbfounded. Ning Kanglin was so excited that his whole body trembled. Investing 10 billion to acquire 10% of the shares. This is a windfall. At this moment, Ning Bei walked over and said, 10% of the shares is a bit too much. When Xiao Si and the others saw it was Ning Bei, everyone rose and bowed, Your Highness, the Northern King. This left the 3 Qin brothers even more baffled. Northern King, what does this mean? Joss smiled slightly in front of the video, 5%. Do you think that'll work? But a second later, he changed it back, 1% will do. We passed it unanimously. Ning Kanglin didn't say a word. He just nodded in agreement. That's settled then. Ning Bei watched from behind, thinking as long as his father is happy, that's all that matters. With him around, the Ning family will never lack money. Joss was also excited. Money is no object. What they want is to get connected with the Prince of Zhenbei. Qin Laoda, though jealous, still spoke. Do you think you can defeat my Qin family this way? Do you think money can buy everything in this era? Do you know that there are ancient martial artists in this world? Ning Bei suddenly looked at the three members of the Qin family. Your Qin family's martial artist is him, right? The intermediate martial artist, Qin Feng. He turned to tell his parents to step outside for a while. He has something to take care of. Su Qinghui retorted, isn't it? Marriages between powerful families are merely transactions between families. At this time, a servant came in and said, young master, a woman is looking for you outside. Ning Bei ordered, let her in. A stunningly beautiful and mature woman walked in. Old Madame Su dismissed Qinghe, saying she was being disrespectful. This isn't her place to speak. Old Madame Su intended to downplay the matter. She said, buyer, you did injure someone after all. It's not quite appropriate. Why don't you just apologize? I've brought a contract worth $10 billion today to invest in Ning Corporation. Su Qinghui was shocked by this. The richest man in the world, from the Qiao's world rich list, is investing $10 billion in the Ning family. But Ning Bei remained unfazed and said, have someone take her to my father to sign the contract. Ning Bei said arrogantly to Su Qinghui, I'm not interested in money. If I wanted it, billions or trillions would be offered to me at any time. As for this marriage, it was arranged by your ancestors. Have your grandmother come to talk to me. You're not qualified yet. Such domineering aura made Su Qinghui clench his fists. He could feel that the man before him could kill him in an instant if he wanted to. Ning Bei returned to his study. He thought that the Su family couldn't have broken off the engagement without reason, and yet they offered such a huge price. What on earth are they thinking? At this moment, a young man in black reported. Ning Bei asked, the people who took my second and fourth uncle's ashes, have you found anything yet? The young man in black, his face covered in sweat, began to speak. The team leader asked me to report. The ashes of the two deceased were not found. There was a snap. The cup of tea in Ning Bei's hand was crushed. The young man was so frightened he immediately knelt down, pleading, please, calm down. There were no clues to the ashes. Brothers from Kaluo City sent a secret message. They say they've discovered Fourth Master Ning's whereabouts. Upon hearing this, Ning Bei instantly stood up and said, what did you say? My fourth uncle is still alive. The young man was trembling under Ning Bei's imposing presence. Ning Bei gave the order to mobilize all forces in Luo City, to search for the whereabouts of his fourth uncle, Ning Sangshan. This news was simply too good to be true. Ning Bei never expected his fourth uncle was still alive. Ning Bei rushed out immediately. He urged Xiao Yuanshan to hurry up, but right now, the 3 lanes on the road are completely blocked by cars. Xiao Yuanshan frantically honked his horn. The driver beside him said, "Brother, stop honking. Every day, at this time, this road is a peak hour for traffic. Every time, it takes 3 or 4 hours to get through." Xiao Yuanshan leaned out of the window. The car is stuck, unable to move forward or backward. Ning Bei spoke, calling for a lifting crane. Xiao Yuanshan remembered that there seemed to be one on a mission nearby. Ning Bei said, "Get the lifting crane here. He'll handle the mission." Xiao Yuanshan immediately contacted the execution team. 3 minutes later, a helicopter arrived above Ning Bei's car. Many drivers came out to see what was going on. Why did a helicopter suddenly arrive? A person on the helicopter lowered a ladder. Ning Bei and Xiao Yuanshan came out and grabbed the ladder. In the next moment, the 2 of them left with the helicopter. The helicopter arrived and landed in a valley. Ning Bei, wearing a golden embroidered Qilin robe, was about to speak when, "What is going on here?" Several members of the Beijing Longqing team. "Who are these people?" Xiao Yuanshan told them to speak freely, no need to avoid the truth. One person bowed and reported, "We received news that someone said 7 people went missing in this valley. We came to investigate, but we encountered a wild beast attack." Xiao Yuanshan asked, "Are you a beginner martial artist? Ordinary beasts shouldn't be able to hurt you." Another one is returning, "Team leader, you don't know. That beast is unusually ferocious. Its speed has reached 10 meters per second. We preliminarily judge it to be a warrior-level beast." Xiao Yuanshan told them to take the wounded and withdraw now. He'll take over this matter. Ning Bei said it's too late to leave now. That thing has already targeted the people here. The next moment, he looked towards the nearby woods. With a whoosh, a dark figure leaped away, leaving its previous position. Xiaolin shouted, "The beast is hiding here." Then it disappeared again quickly. Finding a wild beast in these mountains is like searching for a needle in a haystack. At this moment, a shout rang out. A girl cursed loudly. "Are you all from the Longqing group just eating for nothing?" The man beside her spoke to dissuade her. "Little sister, don't talk nonsense." But the girl continued, "Aren't you Dragon City group usually very powerful? Why are you so useless once you leave the city?" Xiao Yuanshan angrily asked, "Who is this person?" Reporting, "Her name is Lu Linger. The granddaughter of renowned Central Plains physician, Old Man Lu, happened to be collecting herbs in the mountains. Xiaolin was injured only because he saved her." The man looked embarrassed, apologetically saying, "Team leader Xiao, my sister is being unruly. Please don't take it to heart." Ning Bei glanced at the wound on Xiaolin's hand. He then pointed to the girl's bag. He said, "You have a century-old medicinal herb inside. It can heal the wound." The girl immediately panicked and said, "This is mine. Do you really want to steal it from me?" Ning Bei's face darkened at those words. Xiaolin's expression also turned grim. At that moment, Ning Bei said, "Since that's how it is, then get out." The girl retorted, "What do you mean? Who are you telling to get out?" Ning Bei spoke, "You actually think the people here are useless? Then you should just leave on your own." The girl hesitated and spoke, "Aren't there wild beasts nearby? You need to protect us." Xiao Yuanshan waved his hand and said, "Our mission this time is to kill this beast. We're not here to protect anyone. We need to clean up the scene now, so please leave." Members of the Longqing group also showed their malicious expressions. The girl knew she couldn't stay. Before leaving she said, "You guys are all right. Wait till you meet my grandfather. I'll tell him everything." Xiao Yuanshan angrily said, "Mr. Lu, you've practiced medicine for many years, and yet you've produced offspring like this. It's a disgrace to your family." After they were driven away, the man said, "It's all your fault. Why did you have to be so forceful? Now, no one is protecting us anymore, right?" At this moment, Xiao Yuanshan asked Su, "This girl is still Lu Sanjin's granddaughter. What if we really run into that beast?" But before he could finish speaking, a sharp scream came from not far away. The 2 who just left the Longqing group were targeted by the beast. At that moment, the beast fiercely lunged at them. The girl was paralyzed with fear by this terrifying sight. She screamed, "Help! Someone, save me!" Xiao Yuanshan rushed over, realizing it was too late. But then, a whooshing sound rang out beside him. A leaf shot through the air at an incredible speed. The girl was stunned by the scene. It was a single leaf that killed this massive beast. With a thud, the monster fell dead right in front of her. The man hurried over to help her up and asked, "Are you all right, little sister?" It turned out to be Lord Beiwang's doing. The group from Dragon City was stunned. As martial artists, how could they not be shocked? He spoke, "The mission is complete, I've helped you. Yuan Shan, come with me to Luo City. Everyone else, return to Dragon City and report back." Could it be that he is Lu Gi or Guo Baifeng? One of the members spoke up, "None of them are commanders, I've seen them all. I don't recognize him. But only one person in the world can wear the golden embroidered Qilin robe. That is the King of the North, who has been deified among mortals. Even the 5 chief commanders are his subordinates." Ning Bei has already boarded a plane and is heading back to Luo City. Xiao Yuanshan opened the surveillance footage and said. A plainly dressed man appeared on the screen. He was selling candied haws at a street corner. This person was Ning Zhangshang, the fourth son of the Ning family. Ning Bei recognized him immediately. It was his fourth uncle. He was incredibly excited at that moment. Ning Zhangshang is pushing a bike, selling candied hawthorns. A neighbor greets him, saying, Ning Si is out selling again today. A woman asks, how about my kid? Didn't I introduce a job to him last time? Your little Gua seems to need to pay school fees soon, right? This is from my old man, for little Gua. Ning Si's wife quickly waved her hands, saying that was absolutely impossible. But Zhao Sa still forcefully gave it to him. Ning Si said, Zhao Sa, you are truly kind. I haven't repaid the money I borrowed from you last time. Getting Xiao Gua into school is the priority. Ning Si's family could only accept Zhao Sa's kindness. Let Xiao Gua quickly thank you. Suddenly, several people appeared at the street corner. This month's water fee for the boss is due. A group of stall owners took out the money they owed. They handed it to Liang Gu. What? You still don't intend to pay? I don't even make a few bucks a day. Suddenly, a foot kicked his bicycle over. It was Liang Gu standing nearby who did it. Right in front of Ning Si, he just kicked it. He even beat him with a candied hawthorn, saying that not a single cent of his tea money could be missing. Give me the 500 kwai quickly. Seeing her father being bullied, Ning Guoguo rushed out from inside. She pushed the person away and said, you're not allowed to bully my dad. As a result, she was pushed to the ground. He yelled, get lost, you little beast. Ning Guoguo cried out in pain, shouting, you are not allowed to bully my father. At this moment, Ning Laosi trembled uncontrollably. Yet, there was a murderous aura radiating from him. All these years, he had endured humiliation and suffering, but no one was allowed to bully his family. Liang Gu looked at the money that fell out. Damn you, you have money but refuse to pay. I have to do it myself. Someone. Beat him up, teach him a lesson. Ning Lao Si told his wife Xiao Qin to take the child back to the room. Liang Gu couldn't help but laugh. Ning Lao Si, you're not really thinking of making a move, are you? That really scared me to death. But the next moment, he stopped laughing. Ning Si immediately pointed at him. The speed really caught him off guard. At this moment, Liang Gu let out a scream. His wrist had already been broken by Ning Si. Ning Si said fiercely, I am a useless man. I couldn't protect Bayer back then, it's my fault. If I can't even protect my family today, how can I face the ancestors of the Ning family after I die? I, Ning Si, am a useless man. For the past 10 years, I've dragged my wife and daughter through hardship. Today, even if I die, you will pay the price. One of the two subordinates told him to stop talking nonsense. If you have the guts, make your move. But as soon as they charged, they were struck by Ning Si's blow, spitting out watermelon juice. The other one isn't doing any better. He took a solid punch to the face. In just a split second, both of them were taken out. This really scared Brother Liang. The three of them turned and ran, leaving Ning Si to wait and deal with him. He should go home now. Ning Si just forcefully used his energy, causing a rush of blood to his heart. He spat out a mouthful of blood. The sudden vomiting of blood startled his wife and daughter, who rushed over. A neighbor shouted, quickly call an ambulance. Help Ning Si back to his room to rest. Two people walked towards them. It was clear they weren't ordinary people. Seeing them, Ning Si shouted, Xiao Qin, quickly take Guogua and run. The neighbor told Ning Si not to be afraid, saying they would call the police if anyone tried anything. Zhao, you don't know. There are some things even the police can't do anything about. You should go home quickly. Don't get involved in this. Killing someone is nothing to these people. Ning Si stood up and said, Ning Fugua, you're really skillful. He can even use the special operations group to hunt me down. They asked, you are Ning Zhangshang. That's right. I am Ning Zhangshang, in hiding for 13 years. And I'm the one you're here to kill. However, their actions surprised him. Wang Long and Shang Hu of the Huazhongdai group, greetings to 4th Master Ning. Ning Si, looking puzzled, asked, what do you mean? The silver-haired youth replied, we're here to find Mr. Ning Si under orders. Knowing they weren't assassins sent by Ning Fugua, Ning Si relaxed and instantly fainted. The two were startled. They had just found him, and this absolutely couldn't happen at this critical moment. Quick, find all the famous doctors in Los Angeles. The Mukio group has already sent for someone to treat Ning Zhangshang. A group of doctors are discussing Ning Si's injuries. This condition is very serious. A medical professor replied, his heart pulse has stopped. Old injuries have resurfaced. With our current abilities, we're helpless. Sheng Hu was furious. If this man dies, and the higher-ups blame us, it'll be a disaster. If he dies, you'll all die with him. Wang Long urged him to calm down and not say anything extreme. The professor said it's not that he doesn't want to treat him. Now threatening him is useless. The person who is doomed can't be saved, no matter what. Lu Sanjin spoke up, don't blame the kid for being angry. You're just outright saying the person can't be saved. Lu Sanjin asked his grandson to bring him the silver needles. At this moment, two figures hurriedly arrived. It was Ning Bei and Xiao Yuanshan. Wang Longpiao reports. The one currently performing the acupuncture to save the patient is Lu Sanjin, Elder Lu. At this moment, Ning Si has already been helped to sit by the bed. Lu Sanjin's finger slightly flicked. One hand pressed on Ning Si's forehead. The silver needle in his chest was forced out. In the next moment, Ning Si trembled all over, and instantly regained consciousness. He spoke, thank you, Elder Lu, for saving my life. Lu Sanjin told him not to get too excited yet. He had just finished acupuncture. It was only a desperate attempt to prolong his life. He was also helpless against Ning Si's old injuries. He held up 3 fingers and told Ning Si, 3 days, that was his limit. Your body will be beyond saving in 3 days. Ning Bei had already taken off his coat. Cheng Hu also stood up and bowed to Xiao Yuanshan. Ning Si looked at the young man before him, feeling a sense of familiarity yet not recognizing him. Ning Bei spoke, fourth uncle, it's me. As soon as old fourth Ning heard it, he was struck like a bolt of lightning. He trembled and stammered, is it really you, Bayer? The two of them were so excited that they hugged each other. Ning Bayer told him to wait and catch up later. For now, he needed to help him treat his injuries. Lu Sanjin, however, said, kid, didn't you hear what I just said? The unique 3 needles technique has already reached its limit. It can only extend his life for 3 more days. Ning Bei spoke slowly. It seems the legendary Lu's 3 needles isn't all that great after all. At this moment, Ning Bei pointed out and sealed Ning Si's major acupoints. He then reached out and took away 7 silver needles from the air. Ning Bei confidently drove back. Don't you dare touch my people. The professors watching were dumbfounded. Controlling needles with qi, Lu Sanjin was even more shocked. A national-level physician. Such a young man, who is he? 7 needles, imbued with spiritual energy, appeared before Ning Si. Ning Bei flicked his finger. 7 needles accurately pierced 7 major acupuncture points. This shocked Lu Sanjin again. The Ghost Gate 7 needles. Reverse the heart pulse. Just what exactly is this boy's background? After finishing everything, Ning Bei instructed his fourth uncle. Leave the silver needles inside. Force them out in 7 days. Then you will be cured. Having said that, Ning Bei told his fourth uncle to rest. He put on his coat and walked out. Lu Sanjin looked at Ning Bei's black coat, trembling uncontrollably. Gold-embossed Kirin robe. The Beiliang army commander, he's actually the Jinbei king. Ning Bei arrived at the door and said, fourth uncle is out of danger. He just needs some time to recuperate. Ning Bei then straightened up and came before the little girl. Guogua, do you still recognize me? Su Qin told Guogua to call him big brother, saying this is your big brother, Ning Bei. But Guogua said, father told her that her big brother Ning Bei went to a faraway place. She knew that meant he was dead. Ning Bei told her, silly girl, your brother only went to a distant place. He didn't die. Now your brother has come back from afar. Guogua, tell your brother what happened to your face. With a face full of grievance, Guogua said, it was that bald bad guy who hit me. He didn't expect his mother to still be alive. Down below, a group of students weren't listening at all. They even started criticizing the teacher for being too strict. The boys were even more insolent, saying that with such good looks, she'd be better off making money with her body. Maybe some people have a thing for that. If someone hurts you, you just break both their arms. The bald man pointed at Ning Bei and said, it's him. Ning Bei instantly took off his golden embroidered Qilin robe. He threw it aside, blocking Guogua and her daughter's line of sight. At that moment, he suddenly drew the murderous Beiwang sword. A blinding cold light fell. Brother Liang let out a miserable scream. His arm had actually been severed. Ning Bei roared, who else? Step forward. The leader was so frightened he was stunned. He stammered and began to speak. I'm from the Axe Gang. Xiao Yuanshan, always a loudmouth, cursed. What trash, what gang are you from? I don't care. Ning Bei blocked Guogua's view, ordering Xiao Yuanshan to listen. Ning Bei's face was terrifyingly grim at this moment. He slowly said, cripple everyone. Xiao Yuanshan sensed Ning Bei's anger. His heart turned cold. He knew that a calm King Bei was the most terrifying. Moments later, the Jing group sent people to escort the Ning family away. A group of neighbors laughed. I never thought the Lao Ning family was still a wealthy family. Such a prominent background. Yes, Ning Si has finally made it. He won't have to hide anymore. A team member produced an envelope, saying this is the money that Mr. Ning borrowed from you before, and this is a gift of thanks from our commander. Thank you all for taking care of Fourth Master all these years. Seeing this whole box of money, the neighbors were shocked. Those around him all spoke. Truly, good people receive good rewards. It was worth your years of care for the Ning family's Fourth Master. At this moment in the car, Guogua asked again, are you really brother Ning Bei? Ning Bei confirmed, absolutely. When it comes to this little sister, he answers every question. Ning Si also began talking about the past. That night, he was pierced through the heart by a sword. Everyone thought he was dead. But his heart is naturally on the right side. That night, Su Qing secretly saved me. Our family has been in hiding for 13 years. She has suffered all these years, not even daring to contact her family. But Su Qing just smiled and said it was her choice. Ning Bei, let fourth uncle restore his original name. When he was a child, fourth uncle was his idol. That young Ning Sangshang, back then, was a figure who overshadowed the younger generation of Longcheng. Ning Si laughed. These are all things of the past. But fourth uncle agrees to you. After returning to the Ning family, remove the Si from Ning Si, and return to the original name, Ning Sang. At this moment, two figures arrived at the Ning family. They shouted, the Shi family has come to visit. Ning Kanglin came out to welcome them. He asked, is something wrong, Shi Qin, that you are visiting so late? Shi Chuanjia, however, showed no respect. He angrily said, I don't care about your Ning family's internal affairs. This is your Ning family's business. But your Ning family's young man is simply too arrogant, he's no good. At that time, old Madame Su happened to be in the main hall. She asked, what's wrong with my Su family's son-in-law? How did you offend the Shi family? Shi Chuanjia bows and greets, sir, you're just in time. Jing Xian, come over and let Madame Su take a look. Let her judge the matter. The Ning family's eldest son beat someone up this badly. Ning Sangshang spoke, it's just a minor injury, nothing serious. Shi Chuanjia was furious. Are you kidding me? A severed hand is just a minor injury. But the next moment, he was stunned. To his surprise, it was Ning family's fourth son who spoke. Ning Sangshang smiled and said, Brother Shi, don't make a big deal out of this. Wasn't this person supposed to have died years ago? The gravestone was already set up. Now they're alive and standing here. Something's definitely off with the Ning family lately. The Ning family must give us an explanation today. It's a fact that my son had his arm broken by your eldest son. What do you want, Ning Si? Explain yourself. I won't make things difficult for your family, Ning. Let Ning Bei come out now. Kneel before Zheng Xian and apologize. Then we'll let this go. At this moment, Ning Bei and Su Qinghe entered. She spoke up. It was Shi Zheng Xian who bullied Ning Bei first. Ning Bei doesn't intend to pursue this further. Let all the Shi family members disappear within 10 seconds. Old Master Shi bowed, thanking the commander for his leniency. The three dared not linger and quickly left the Ning family. With the matter resolved, old Madame Su prepared to return to the Su family. Ning Kanglin asked and Ning Bei had contacted the Shi family. Shi Chuanjia looked unhappy, saying an apology isn't enough. Ning Bei must kneel and apologize properly, otherwise, the Ning family will bear the consequences. Ning Bei calmly said, Grandma, you're somewhat biased towards the Shi family. Shi Chuanjia wondered what Ning Bei meant by that, but old Madame Su said, Old Master Shi is Grandma's sworn brother. No matter what, you have to give Grandma some face. Ning Bei asked, you just made me kneel and kowtow. You should think carefully. With this kneel, your Shi family will be removed from Muyang. Shi Chuanjia laughed, urging Ning Bei to kneel. He's the historian's successor. Having said that, Ning Bei threw down his clothes, preparing to kneel. Old Madame Su was startled and stood up. She shouted, absolutely not. At this time, an elderly man hurried in from the doorway. He shouted, you mustn't kneel. Shi Chuanjia saw it was his own father who had come. He quickly went forward to greet him, but he received a big slap instead. Old Master Shi angrily shouted, you unfilial son, kneel down straight for me. This slap completely stunned Shi Chuanjia. Old Master Shi was extremely angry. Damn, still not kneeling for me. With a loud thud, Shi Chuanjia knelt in the Ning family's main hall. This shocked Shi Jingxian, who was standing nearby. Old Master Shi knelt on one knee to pay his respects. The Shi family of Longqing greets Commanding Officer Ning. Old Madame Su told third brother not to do this. As long as she's here today, she will protect the children of the Shi family no matter what. Shi Quan and Jia, the two father and son, were shocked. The other party turned out to be the commander. Ning Bei smiled and said, I just told you, your Shi family can't afford this kneel. But for the sake of Grandma Su, Ning Bei doesn't intend to pursue the case. Let all the people of the Shi family disappear within 10 seconds. Mr. Shi saluted and thanked you for your forgiveness, Commander. The three of them did not dare to stay any longer and quickly left the Ning family. After the matter is resolved, Mrs. Su is also ready to return to the Su family. Ning Kanglin asked Ning Ji when he came into contact with Shi Jia. It was the Shi family who got involved with me. Shi Jingxian should be pursuing Qin He. There was a minor conflict at the entrance of Ji today. Ning Kanglin asked him what earth-shattering deeds he had done in the northern borders. Ning Bei spoke up, protect the nation's gates. Repel foreign invaders, defend the borders. The next day, Ning Bei was cultivating on the rooftop. Su Qinghe asked Ning Bei to come over. Has he forgotten what he promised her last night? They met Ning Kanglin at the Ning family's door. He told Ning Bei, your mother is worried that you won't adapt to social life. Let Qinghe take you to adjust for a few days. Ning Bei then realized that it was actually his mom's idea to have Qinghe take him to school. Su Qinghe smiled and said, "I'm just doing a favor for someone." The two quickly arrived at Longqing University. Ning Bei was a transfer student, so he had to go find the principal to report first. However, he was told that the principal was not in, and you need to make an appointment to see the headmaster. Su Qinghe didn't want to bother. She directly called his private number, but nobody answered. It seems that the old geezer must be drunk. Ning Bei looked at the staff introduction on the wall. The president of Longqing University happens to know him. He told Qinghe to hand him the phone, and he would make the call. Sure enough, a voice immediately came through on the other end. "Who is this? This is a confidential line. How did you get this number?" The president was immediately startled and trembled as he spoke. "You are Lord Bei Wang." Inside the Jida teaching building, Ning Bei directly called to inquire. "Is there a teacher named Sun Zheng in Beiliang?" The person on the other end of the line said yes, but he was later dismissed, because he was complained about for having too low teaching quality, not as good as Kong Ling and Su Yuan's teaching. Ning Bei said, "Find this person, and have him return my call." Su Qinghe asked in surprise, "Professors Kong He and Su Yuan taught you? These two are giants in the academic world. One is the director of our Academy of Traditional Chinese Medicine. The other one is a nuclear physicist, a Bell Prize winner." Ning Bei laughed, "Impressive or not? At Beiliang Military Academy, it's all the same." Suddenly, Ning Bei's phone rang. He answered, and the other party immediately said, "Payment. Being a student is simply suffering. Now, I, on behalf of Juda, invite Mr. Ning to be our honorary principal, and teach the students at Juda." Ning Bei said that he can't come to school every day. Principal Sun Jing told him not to refuse so quickly. "Let's see the salary first." He directly walked out of the conference room. He quickly jogged to Ning Bei's side. Su Qinghe explained, "This is Ning Bei, who said he would come to enroll last night." Sun Jing said that he and Ning Bei had met 5 years ago. Ning Bei introduced himself again. "Ning Bei, the eldest son of the Ning family, born in Ganlong City." Su Qinghe laughed, "It's all acquaintances. Then the principal should quickly help him with the enrollment procedures." Sun Jing said, "Enrollment won't do." This made Su Qinghe look confused and ask why. With Mr. Ning's scholarship, Sun Jingyi saw it succeed, his heart filled with immense excitement. This is the king of the north. How could he not be thrilled to have him become the principal of such a large school? Su Qinghe asked him why he rushed off so quickly. He must have gone to look for spirit stones. Soon, several figures slowly approached. The next moment, he came out carrying a box. Inside was a crystal-clear gem. Su Qinghe said it was a diamond. Ning Bei told him it was a spirit stone. Modern ancient martial arts lineages have almost completely died out. Spirit stones are even more impossible to find. Sun Jing spoke, "Mr. Ning, how about becoming the principal of the school? 1 spirit stone per month, how about it?" Ning Bei smiled and asked, "Do you have a lot of spirit stones stored up?" Sun Jing didn't dare to hide the truth and said he only had this one, but he could find more from other places. Ning Bei raised 3 fingers, 3 spirit stones per month. Professor Li told him to wait a moment. He took out a spirit stone and said he had one too. This left Ning Bei speechless. "One for each person." Everyone responded that they also had one. Professor Li explained, 10 years ago, Old Man Chen went to the mountains for a survey. Its principal Sun Zheng and several senior professors. A group of people came in, and they were all a little puzzled to see how young he was. "You want him to teach the students?" Sun Zheng asked, "Old Li, do you remember the anti-gravity theory published by a teacher in global academic journals? That academic paper pushed forward the progress of anti-gravity research by a whole decade." Sun Zheng said the paper was written by Ning Bei. "That's impossible." "How old is he?" "He definitely plagiarized someone else's work." Ning Bei said the paper was authorized and published by him, so there's no question of plagiarism. Professor Li asked, "So it's like that? Then do you know what the journal says?" Ning Bei calmly replied, "Anti-gravity industrialization." These words shocked many professors. He actually knew. Ning Bei turned to leave, saying he didn't have time for idle chat, and for any breakthrough in anti-gravity technology, there will be a bonus. No less than any top institution, domestic or international. "Professor Ning, this is a gold card. It contains 10 million yuan in prize money, for your development of the anti-gravity device." It was picked up from the mountains. He thought it was a diamond, but when he had it tested, the composition was wrong, so he gave each of us a few pieces. Ning Bei asked, "Where in Ji Mountain was the spirit stone found?" "Only old Chen knows that." Ning Bei asked, "Where is Professor Chen now?" Sun Jing said Professor Chen is already 6 feet under. So, the location of the mineral vein is unknown to anyone. Sun Jing said to Ning Bei, "You, as the dean, are qualified to evaluate professors." "Just kidding, with the anti-gravity journal, Mr. Ning becoming an academician wouldn't be difficult." What Ning Bei cares about right now is the information related to the stone. He doesn't want to talk about anything else right now. Another professor spoke up. Back then, Old Chen and Old Wang went to Ji Mountain for an investigation. But beyond that, we don't know much. Now both of them are gone. Do you know how many days they spent on Juice Mountain then? I remember they seemed to have insufficient food. About 10 days. Based on a normal person's travel, Ning Bei estimated that their activity range should be within a radius of 100 li. In other words, the mineral vein is in that area. Ning Bei hurried home after leaving Mujing University. With this spirit stone, helping his mother, Qin Huilan, stand up won't be difficult. On the way, Ning Bei was attracted by a group of people. He went over to take a look. It turned out to be an ambulance involved in an accident. A man is demanding compensation for his car from the ambulance. The man in the suit said, "You were drunk driving and caused someone else's car to crash, and now you want to hit someone." In the next moment, the drunk man slapped him, angrily saying, "Do you know who I am? I'll send Du Hao to find out." The onlookers, hearing it was the Du family, all started warning the young man not to provoke him. A girl at the scene cried out, begging someone to save her grandfather. His older brother just returned from the northern border today. He's been there for 10 years. He came back this time just to see Grandpa, and urged Grandpa to hold on. Didn't he always say he wanted to see his older brother? He's already on his way. Ning Bei wouldn't normally get involved in such a small matter, but he heard from the north. Then he has to come out and see. He walked over and said, "Release your grip now, and you'll live." Du Hao was shocked by the other party's imposing manner, and involuntarily released his grip. He spoke, "You dare to scare me, threaten me." Ning Bei completely ignored him. He walked straight toward the ambulance. But in the next moment, Du Hao actually pulled out a knife. He clearly intended to kill Ning Bei on the spot. Just now, Du Hao had been shaken and then ignored. It brought him immense shame. Inebriated, he actually wanted to kill someone. Ning Bei didn't even glance at him, directly striking out with a palm. Du Hao stumbled back several steps, crying out in pain, "My hand! My hand is gone!" Ning Bei came to the side of the ambulance. He looked at the man on the stretcher. He said, "This man has passed away. He can't be saved." Then he went to the little girl and asked, "Your brother is a soldier in the north." Joey nodded, asking if you could save my grandfather. "He hasn't seen my brother yet." Ning Bei checked the old man's injuries, saying the old man was fine and unharmed, a minor ailment easily cured. But Xiao Yi said, "The hospital issued a critical illness notice for Grandpa half a year ago. Grandpa being able to last until today was completely to see my older brother." At this time, several doctors in white coats ran over, urgently shouting, "How is old Xiao?" Xiao Yiren saw that it was Dr. Geng from the hospital. Dr. Geng told her not to cry yet. Right now, they need to quickly get Xiao Lao to the hospital for treatment. Ning Bei told him that the elderly man is in critical condition. Now is not the time to move him carelessly. Dr. Geng asked, "Who are you?" Ning Bei didn't answer, but said, "Lend me your acupuncture needles." Dr. Geng was puzzled as to how the other person knew he had acupuncture needles, but he lent them to him to save the person. In an instant, Ning Bei suspended the acupuncture needles above his palm. He then precisely inserted needles into the old man's major acupuncture points. Dr. Geng was shocked. This is controlling the needles with qi, national physician level. After only 3 seconds, the old man's life returned. His breathing became smooth again. Ning Bei produced an object. It was the spirit stone he had just obtained from Peking University. He immediately infused the spiritual energy into the old man's body. The moment Elder Qiao received the spiritual energy, he opened his eyes and regained consciousness. Ning Bei withdrew the silver needles and spoke. He just extended the old man's life by a year. With proper care, he could live 3 more years. Just as Ning Bei was about to leave, Elder Qiao called out to him, asking Ning Bei to stay. Du Hao, whose arm had just been severed, rushed over angrily, demanding his name so he could settle the score later. Ning Bei's eyes turned cold. This guy didn't know what was good for him. He immediately raised his hand again and slapped Du Hao. With a slap, Du Hao fell to the ground, spitting out watermelon juice wildly. This caused the onlookers to look on in terror. This man is Du Hao from the Du family. This young man has actually hit him multiple times. Old Xiao smiled and said, "Little divine doctor, don't worry about it. Leave this matter to me, I'll take care of it. Here is my business card. If you run into any trouble in Longcheng, you can always call me." Joey was overjoyed to see her grandfather's unexpected good fortune. Her mood was excellent. She continuously thanked Ning Bei. Ning Bei asked, "What's your brother's name in the northern frontier?" Joey said her brother's name was Qiao Dong. Ning Bei smiled. "The Wolf of Dongdu, Qiao Dong." Xiao Yiren said, "Do you know my brother? Your brother lives up to his title of hero. He guards the border for China in the northern frontier. He serves as the commander of the Baoyang Legion with the title, the Wolf of Dongdu, Xiao Dong. His military achievements are outstanding." What Ning Bei said made Grandpa Qiao and his granddaughter extremely happy. Who wouldn't want their loved ones to be great heroes? Xiao Yiren asked, "Little brother, what's your name?" Ning Bei from the Ning family. If you ever encounter something you can't solve, You can come to the Ning family for help, with both legs. This time, it consumes 7 spirit stones. But Mom is able to stand and walk now. It's still worth it. At this moment, Mu Shi came in and congratulated Aunt Qin on her recovery. Then she spoke, Lord Bei Wang. The company has already raised 10 billion US dollars. It's all been transferred to Ning Group's account. Ning Bei nodded and asked her to take care of something. Go to the company now and assist in establishing a subsidiary. It will be responsible for geological surveys around Mushan. Qin Huilan asked Ning Bei, somewhat confused. Why do we need to set up a geological survey company? Ning Bei laughed, saying he was looking for something very important. That thing is priceless. I never thought I'd be completely helpless against 2 people one day. Oh. Boy, I think you're tired of living. Yu Feng's eyes blazed with killing intent. 8 bouncers quickly came over. The head bouncer coldly shouted, Who are you? Causing trouble in my place. You don't want to live anymore. Who do you think you are? Get me the manager. Tang Jingyun went. Du Yuan understood the situation and his eyelids twitched. He looked at Tang Yusin. He was startled. He knew that if anything happened to this young miss in his establishment, it would be a huge disaster. Du Yuan turned around, drag him out and break his arms. Du Yuan turned and personally prepared the private room. He glanced at Ning Bei one more time. As he reached the corner, Du Yuan's expression darkened to the extreme. He said in a low voice, Keep an eye on that kid, he's the one who hurt Howard. Should we take him down now? The female secretary asked cautiously. Du Yuan angrily said, nonsense. That brat Yu Feng is there too, and the Shi family's children. Several big families' people are untouchable. Wait until they're finished playing and disperse. Secretly bring the person back to me. Tang Yusin and her group are tired of playing. Arriving at the luxurious KTV private room on the 73rd floor, Shi Jingyang started to stir things up again. Hey, Ning Bei, why don't you sing a song? You say you don't drink, and you don't sing either. Don't you care about Miss Tang's face? Are you really going to give her no face at all? Liang Zhou sarcastically said, Mr. Shi, not only did they not give Yusin any face, looks like your face doesn't work either. They come from the Ning family, so they have a big ego. It's understandable. The young man beside him had a faint smile on his lips. Tang Jingyun kicked out. Liang Zhou's body arched up, almost falling to the ground. You like making a scene. If you don't drink, get out. Tang Jingyun directly used force. You're ruthless. We'll see about this. Shi Jingyang was about to slam the door and leave with Liang Zhou. At that moment, Ning Bei's thin lips moved slightly. Stop. What's your business, you discarded pawn whose status is lower than a dog's? You really thought I was going to bother with you? I was just treating you like a stupid dog, playing with you. Shi Jingyang walked to the door and gave a cold smile. The next second, everyone saw a flash, and no one could see clearly. Ning Bei, with his right hand behind his back, had already reached the door. His left hand grabbed Shi Jingyang's neck and effortlessly lifted him up. Shi Jingyang's face turned red as he stuck out his tongue. Eyes wide, filled with fear. Su Qinghe stepped forward, pulling Ning Bei, and cried out, Ning Bei, let go. He's going to die. Yu Feng was startled, sensing Ning Bei's murderous intent. He frowned and said, Brother Ning, just teach him a lesson. I'm bored to death. This could very well attract the Special Operations Group. Liang Zhou suddenly realized, right, you're a martial artist. Daring to kill ordinary people, the Special Operations Group won't let you off. Ning Bei said softly, the Jing City Group, what am I afraid of? 6 words, causing Yu Feng's pupils to constrict. Knowing that Ning Bei's killing intent has arisen, at this moment, Tang Jingyun looks toward the end of the corridor. A young man with long hair stands there, wearing a black top. A white knife symbol is on his chest. The young man with long hair strides forward. He softly says, Special Operations Team is handling it. Obstructor, kill without mercy. Yu Feng cupped his hands. Brother, do me a favor. I am Yu Feng, from the Special Forces Battalion of the Julian Beijing Defense Army. You must have heard of me. Doing business in Bianjing, obstructors will be killed without mercy. The young man with long hair closed the distance to 7 steps. He reached for the black hilt of the dagger at his waist. His right hand gently grasped it. The moment the blade left its sheath, a chilling murderous aura accompanied it. It felt as if a bloody smell filled the air. The black blade moved with such speed, it reached Tang Jingyun's throat. Ning Bei spoke. The long-haired young man holds a cold blade, the blade pointed at Tang Jingyun's neck. The blade has already broken the skin's surface. A drop of blood flows out. Ning Bei throws Shi Jingyang to the ground, and when he turns around, he sees the long-haired young man's blade. It's pointed at his cheek. The cold blade pointed at Ning Bei. The long-haired youth was completely unaware of what this meant. He said coldly, as a martial artist, violating the iron law, using weapons against ordinary people, injuring someone, 3 years imprisonment, causing disability, 10 years imprisonment. The murderer is to be executed on the spot. Who are you? The young man with long hair obviously knows this rule. Ning Bei has already become enraged. The Beiwang knife hidden inside his body slid out from his sleeve, landing in his left hand. The long-haired young man looked over, struck dumb. His face turned pale. In a moment, unexpectedly, the long-haired young man sheathed his sword and knelt on one knee. He clasped his hands and shouted, Note Jing Group Hanli, see the military master. This sentence shocked everyone around. The northern king of the Beiliang army, a legendary figure who was crowned king at the age of 17, is the immortal myth of their military department. He is also known as the military master, young and in high position, wielding great power. At this moment, Hanli kneels on one knee. He is completely stunned. Yu Feng mutters, the North King's blade, you are the North King. Ning Bei, the deified North King, is actually being threatened with a gun. Ning Bei angrily draws the North King's blade, its edge emerges, and heaven and earth rage. Just now, when the young man with long hair saw Ning Bei's Beiwang sword at his waist, he immediately sheathed his sword and knelt down. When Ning Bei saw Hanli acknowledging his mistake, he didn't hold grudges against his own brother. He never overly chastised him. Get up. There is no kneeling in Beiliang, and a warrior holding the Liang sword should never kneel in front of the borders of the north, even if they die in battle. But he died without falling. This is the pride of the Beiliang army. Everyone in the box was stunned. The Ning family's discarded son, with such a terrifying background. Take him away, let the Shi family go to Zhujing to gather people. Ning Bei pointed at Shi Jingyang. Hanli picked up Shi Jingyang and quickly left. The remaining people, including Liang Zhou, Ning Bei said again, girl, lend me your phone. But don't get into any more fights. Or I'll tell Aunt Chin. Su Qinghe handed him her phone. He flipped through the contacts. I found Liang Yihong's phone number. An aged voice answered, who is this? It's me, Ning Bei. Liang Yihong's eyelids twitched slightly. He couldn't forget this voice. He said, is it Xiao Bei? It's been a few days since we last saw each other at the Ning family. Come visit my Liang family when you have time. No rush. You have a family member named Liang Zhou, right? Ning Bei's tone was very calm. Should I teach your Liang family a lesson, or will you? Ning Bei asked one question. After a moment of silence, Liang Yihong said, give him the phone. I'll give you an explanation. Ning Bei didn't say a word, handing the phone to Liang Zhou. A roar came from the phone, kneel. Liang Zhou's legs trembled, and he instantly knelt down. He was almost scared to tears. Liang Yihong hung up the phone. Let Liang Zhou kneel like this forever. Tang Jingyun helped you phone into the house to rest. Secretly curious, Brother Ning, has your strength reached the level of a battle general? Something like that. Ning Bei smiled and passed it off. It didn't explain his true strength. Su Qinghe yawned. Ning Bei, I'm sleepy. Let's go, I'll take you back. Tang Jingyun carried Tang Yusen home. Yufeng got a ride back. At the elevator entrance, the security captain of the UN Entertainment City, Xian Shen, with a stern expression, said, Ning Xiao, my boss requests your presence. Lead the way. Ning Bei's expression remained unchanged, seemingly aware of the reason for his summons. Tonight, Du Yuan certainly recognized Ning Bei. He had been biding his time until now to act. Ning Bei took the elevator directly to the 7th floor of the entertainment center. Du Yuan sits on the sofa in the distance, holding his female secretary in his arms. He coldly snorts, since ancient times, heroes have emerged young. What courage, to dare to come straight up. What do you want? Su Qinghe scolded sharply. Du Yuan said calmly, my personal matters with Ning Bei have nothing to do with Miss Su. Send a special car to escort her back safely. Miss Su, the reason I've been polite to you is out of respect for Mrs. Su. Today's matter, the Su family better not get involved. Ning Bei chuckled lightly, it's fine, wait for me outside. Su Qinghe's eyes showed concern as she looked around. There were more than 60 people, just her and Ning Bei. She would definitely lose if a fight broke out. Du Yuan suddenly stood up, his eyes growing colder. Young Master Ning, do you know who you hurt this morning? Du Yuan growled, that was my only son. You cut off his arm. You will die tonight. Leave your last words. As the words fell, 60 men in black security uniforms on both sides slowly drew their long swords from their waists, the cold light flashing. Ning Bei stood proudly, unmoving. The aloof secretary's phone vibrated. She whispered, boss, young Master Tang is calling. The call connected, and Tang Jingyun's furious voice immediately rang out. Du Yuan, you've gone mad. My brother, you dare touch him. Young Master Tang, earlier when you came, I didn't ruin Miss Tang's birthday banquet. I'll tell you now, just this morning. My son had his arm cut off by Ning Bei. This blood debt, he must repay. Du Yuan rasped, even though he was a dog of the Tang family. After the call ended, Du Yuan coldly said, Ning Bei, I'm telling you, whether it's the Su family or the Tang family, no one can protect you today. Security number 60, swarming forward. Ning Bei stood with his hands behind his back. The next moment, he moved. The man numbered 60 felt a searing pain in his legs. He looked down. Blood gushed forth. He collapsed. A mournful wail echoed through Yulu City. It terrified the guests. The female secretary's face turned pale, warlord level. Du Yuan was even more terrified. A strong person of this level, how could they appear in Jijing? Du Yuan exclaimed in shock, how is that possible? His shock stemmed from deep-seated fear. He couldn't accept this reality. The door burst open. Tang Jingyun and Yufeng rushed in. Ning, are you alright? Tang Jingyun breathed a sigh of relief. Du Yuan came to his senses. Young Master Tang, save me. A warlord-level figure. He is not someone Du Yuan can afford to offend. His eyes pleaded with Tang Jingyun for help, like a dying dog. Ning Bei, are you alright? Su Qinghe jogged over. But at the door, Du Yuan's lover and secretary was holding a black pistol with both hands, shouting angrily, don't move. Whoever dares move, I'll kill her. The dark muzzle of the gun pressed to Su Qinghe's head. Su Qinghe's body stiffened. Her clear eyes showed fear. Du Yuan smiled in surprise. Xiaoling, well done. What nonsense Tang family, Su family, damn them. Let her go, I promise you'll leave Beijing alive. Tang Jingyun's eyes were cold. The female secretary, Xiaoling, sneered, young Master Tang. Do you think I'm a 3-year-old child who's easy to deceive? If you let this girl go, both my boss and I are dead. Ning Bei, go. Get ready to take action. Xiaoling spoke, Mr. Ning. I know you're a powerful martial artist. A martial general level expert could be beside me in the blink of an eye, but I can pull the trigger in 0.3 seconds. Don't make a move. Once I can't see you. It was when I pulled the trigger. Ning Bei looked at her and softly said, "Who told you? I'm just a warlord." Xiaoling was stunned, exclaiming, "You're not a warlord level. Could you be?" She hadn't finished speaking. Ning Bei didn't move, but a terrifying pressure rolled outward. The entire 7th floor seemed to be swept by a strong wind. Four paper documents flew everywhere. This pressure caused Du Yuan to freeze in fear, his voice lost. The air pressure crushes everything. It could overpower thousands, a god of war level. Ning Bei took a step forward, the Bei Wang Dao appearing in his hand. After the jet black blade flashed, a black hand flew up. There was another hand on top of it. Xiaoling's shrill scream made everyone in the entertainment city feel a chill down their spines. No one knew what happened on the 7th floor. Ning Bei embraced Su Qinghe's delicate waist. She was in his arms. His left hand held a sword, for slaughter. His right hand held a beautiful woman, for tenderness. The king who pacified the north, a god among men. He was threatened into breaking off his engagement by a woman, twice. Completely enraged, he cancels the marriage. Just now, Ning Bei's aura suppressed everyone, his presence dominating all. Ning Bei took a step forward, holding the northern king's blade, ready to kill. Ning Bei looked at Su Qinghe and softly said, "To harm her. Do you know what price you'll have to pay?" "War God, I was wrong. Please, spare me." Xiaoling's face was pale, she knelt on the ground, begging like a dead dog. Du Yuan's whole body trembled. The legendary war god level figure had actually come to Xijing, and Du Yuan, without knowing better, was going to kill him. She has had enough of the shocks tonight. The northern king's blade should not be drawn again to stain with blood. You don't have to die tonight, take this official token. Ning Bei's fingers twitched slightly, and a black card appeared. It was 3 inches long, 1 inch wide, and as thin as a cicada's wing. It quietly landed in front of Xiaoling. Only one card was left, and it wasn't Du Yuan's. Du Yuan had been overly aggressive, but he had shown some restraint earlier. He had only targeted Ning Bei. He even said he would specifically escort Su Qinghe home. Yu Feng's pupils suddenly contracted, as if recalling something. His face was frighteningly pale. This is the Bailiang army's decree. The Bailiang army's decree, those who disobey will die, and their 3 generations will be implicated. Kill them all, leaving not a single one alive. Ning Bei carried Su Qinghe and walked out of the entertainment center. His steps were swift as the wind. He was back in the car so quickly. Tang Jingyan said, "We can't let Du Yuan live. Leaving a warrior like him is a disaster waiting to happen. I have to kill him, otherwise, a warrior's revenge. I'm not afraid, but he might hurt Yu Xian and Qin He in the future." Yu Feng, in the passenger seat, said, "No need for that trouble. Bailiang army's order. Even the god of war will die if he accepts it." 7th floor of the entertainment city, Xiaoling and Du Yuan, with their deepest gratitude, gasping for breath, picked up the black card with the black war blade pattern. Almost at the same time, the 100 battle gods of the Bailiang army moved. After the Bailiang army's blade order appeared, the northern border immediately detected it. At the same time, all 5 commanders received a prompt. The Bailiang army's blade has appeared. After the Bailiang military knife appeared, someone has already arrived in the darkness. Someone has already arrived. A young man in black, strong and powerful, entered the entertainment city. He looked down at his phone and reached the 7th floor. This Bailiang military knife itself has a positioning function. Once activated, it can record all information within 10 meters. Real-time transmission to the terminal. Du Yuan was stunned. "Who are you?" "The leader of Qingzhou's secret service, left hall." The young man calmly left. Du Yuan was stunned, unable to speak, and said, "How is this possible? The Dark Division has arrived." Who exactly is Ning Bei? Anger in the midst of despair, the people from the Dark Division intervene. There's no chance of survival, they are even more ruthless than the Special Operations team. The young man in the middle of the hall extended his hand. He took the black card from Xiaoling's hand. Qing asked softly, "Did Ning Bei give you this card?" "Yes, he said he wouldn't kill me." Xiaoling thought it was something to save her life, and quickly nodded. Sua Zhongtang gently took it. "He won't kill you. He wants to annihilate your entire family." "Ah!" Xiaoling was stunned. Only Zhu Zhongtang sighed lightly. After all, she's just a country bumpkin. If it were placed in the hands of a warrior with some experience, they would probably rather commit suicide than accept this Bailiang army's invitation to the martial arts competition. Having said that, Zhu Zhongtang turned around and left. No one saw him strike. Du Yuan, a notorious gangster, had been loan sharking for years, ruining countless families. He died instantly, spitting blood. And his mistress, Xiaoling, died on the spot. For a moment, Xiao Yuanshan of the Mujing group appeared at the doorway. Seeing this, he frowned, left Zhongtang, the leader of Qingzhou. Team leader Xiao, long time no see, I'll handle this. Left Zhongtang vanished in a flash. The next day, Tang Yusen lazily stretched. She looked listless. Her nose wrinkled slightly. Ning Tian, I heard you also know how to treat illnesses. I know a little. Ning Bei went to the cafeteria with the 2 women. Along the way, they attracted many envious glances from students. Tang Yuxian whispered, my head hurts a little. That was from drinking too much last night, no big deal. Ning Bei went to the cafeteria area and went straight to the second floor. It's much quieter up here. It's mostly Gu University teachers and professors. Su Qinghe picked up her chopsticks, ready to eat heartily. I'm starving. Ning Bei's hand moved as fast as a phantom. He easily dodged the chopsticks in her hand. He calmly said, wait until the purple energy is completely absorbed into your body before eating. Damn Ning Bei, I'll fight you. You wouldn't let me eat breakfast, and now you won't let me eat lunch. Su Qinghe was about to cry from anger. Tang Jingyan stared dumbfounded, saying, Chai purple chi. What is that? A clean-cut young man walked over from a distance and said, Yusin. Chai chi is a treasure of the highest order, especially rare for martial artists. Legend has it that purple energy appeared once in ancient times. It is said that Lao Tzu, the founder of Taoism, saw it when he left Hangu Pass. Purple energy came from the east, descending from the heavens. Ning Bei sat calmly, and a wisp of purple energy flew out from him, like a small dragon of a foot in length, circling around its body, very spiritual. Purple chi protects the body, a born sage. Who are you? Huadong was so frightened that he stood up, his face as pale as death. The legendary thing is actually hidden within this person before me. Ning Bei released the purple aura and smiled lightly. The purple aura has remarkable effects. I'll send you another one tomorrow. If she had known she couldn't eat today, she wouldn't have asked Ning Bei for the purple aura this morning. I don't want it. Su Qinghe refused without hesitation. Huadong hurriedly said, brother, I want it. What are you? Ning Bei chuckled, questioning the young man before him, with a soul-searching question. Huadong's face darkened terribly. I can buy it with money. He doesn't need money. Su Qinghe mumbled softly. Tang Yusin lazily said, he's the eldest legitimate son of the Ning family. The entire Ning family estate belongs to him. He doesn't need your little bit of money. Huadong was shocked. He was naturally familiar with the Ning family. The Ning family, the leader of the 7 great families of Beijing. It's the gigantic behemoth of Jing City. Not just anyone can afford to provoke it. Su Qinghe said aggrievedly, Ning Bei, I'm hungry. Scared. Ning Bei lowered his head, eating only vegetables. Tang Yusin burst out laughing. You two will get married. How are we supposed to live like this? Who would marry that scoundrel? At most, he's just a regular friend. Su Qinghe turned her head in a huff. Tang Yusin's slender, white fingers lightly brushed her earlobe, revealing her delicate earlobe, hesitated to speak. She pressed, really, really. Su Qinghe nodded proudly. Ning Bei put down his chopsticks, frowning, this arranged marriage. I said I didn't agree to it the first time we met. You disagree, so you can break off the engagement. With Grandma Su here, I, Ning Bei, will protect your Su family for the rest of my life. After speaking, Ning Bei turned and left, his steps steady and powerful. One can imagine Ning Bei becoming a general at the age of 7. At the age of 9, he became a god. At 13, he became the overlord of the northern border. At 17, he was crowned king. He took full command of the Baoyang army. 10 legions, 1 million elite soldiers, all submitted to him. A young man, his name renowned throughout China, surpassing all the 100 nations of the world. His marriage to Su Qinghe was decided long ago. We can break off the engagement. Su Qinghe has publicly stated her refusal to this marriage several times in just a few days. She's resisted this marriage. Moreover, she stated this in front of Ning Bei. He's not the type to cling to someone. Ning Bei took out a new mobile phone from his desk. Making a call, Dad, it's Ning Bei. Bayer, what's up? Ning Canlon is dealing with matters at the company. Ning Bei said calmly, Qinghe and I aren't suitable. Discuss it with Grandma Su. Cancel the wedding. Ning Canlon hesitated to speak. He really wanted to persuade him again. But once Ning Bei made a decision, it wouldn't change. The legendary war god was actually threatened by his fiancée to call off the wedding. In his youth, his name was renowned across China, outshining 100 countries worldwide. He immediately agreed to Su Qinghe's request to break off the engagement. Ning Bei returned home, the manor brightly lit, as if someone was waiting for his return. In the main hall, Qin Huilan and Ning Canglin were both there. Mom and Dad, why aren't you asleep? Ning Bei looked slightly strange. Qin Huilan spoke softly, Bayer, have you and Qinghe had a falling out? You're older than Qinghe by half a year, be more considerate of her. Ning Canglin also persuaded him. Ning Bei smiled faintly, Qinghe is rejecting this marriage in her heart. Mom, Dad, you don't need to say anything. Go to bed early. Ning Bei flashed to the rooftop of the Ming Hall. Xiao Yuanshan is here, and hasn't alerted anyone. He cupped his hands and said, Xiao Yuanshan pays respects to the North King. Have you found out about that person? Ning Bei stood with his hands behind his back. Ning Bei had said that, on this return to the capital, he would kill 3 people. The first person, Ning Fugua. The second person, Qin Fenghe. As for the third person, Ning Bei has yet to make a move. This is because, until now, that person has not appeared. Xiao Yuanshan gave a wry smile, I haven't found anything yet. Earlier, you released the Baoyang army's knife. The one who received it was Sui Zhongtang, the head of Qingzhou's secret department. This must be reported to Ningbei. The secret department and the special operations group are at odds. It's known to all martial artists under the heavens. You should know that when Ningbei returned to Beijing this time, some people had no intention of letting him return to the northern border. Some people want Ningbei dead. Sua Zhongtong, that name sounds familiar. Ningbei's eyes flashed with a cold glint. Because he was going to kill his third target. He's a leader of the Shadow Clan. Xiao Yuanshan said with killing intent, should we eliminate him? No need to bother with him. Ningbei dismissed him with a wave of his hand. Xiao Yuanshan disappeared into the dark night. But in the Su family manner. Su Qinghe, however, suffered from insomnia. She didn't know why. Closing her eyes, Ningbei's figure would appear in her mind. Old Madame Su sighed. During the day, your Aunt Qin came and talked about you and Xiao Bei's matter. This marriage. From now on, neither the Ning family nor the Su family will ever mention it again. Grandma, what's wrong? Su Qinghe's face turned pale. Old Madame Su said with affection, in front of Xiao Bai, I'm stating again today that I disagree with this marriage. How could Xiao Bei possibly cling to you like that? Your Aunt Qin came this morning and took away the letter of withdrawal I wrote, showing that we, the woman's side, are breaking off the engagement. This saves your face. Bayer's humiliation is repayment for the debt of the past. Old Mrs. Su sighed deeply. She didn't expect things to come to this. In the old woman's heart, her granddaughter is very outstanding, a famous talented woman in the capital. But Ningbei is even more outstanding. The overlord of the northern border, the generation's Shenbei king, a 1,000-year wonder. At a young age, he holds the position of commanding hundreds of thousands of Beiliang soldiers. Wherever the cold blade points, it conquers all. Unstoppable in attack, invincible in battle. With such status, he is absolutely worthy of Su Qinghe. Su Qinghe sat on the bed, dazed. Her mind went completely blank. Her eyes were slightly red, and she cried out, fine. Break off the engagement. It's not like I don't have suitors. The Su family's broken engagement isn't a secret. The news spread like wildfire. The next morning, distinguished guests arrived at the Su family manor. This alarmed old Madame Su, who went to greet them in the living room. Su Qinghe personally received them, saying, Uncle Gu, Grandma will be here soon. Come, have some tea. Qinghe, don't be so polite. Where's Qinghe? Gu Kongkong, a well-dressed young man with handsome features, couldn't help but ask where Su Qinghe was. The middle-aged man beside him, Gu Jinshan, is his father, the chairman of Los Angeles Aluminum Company, Ltd. His listed companies had a market capitalization of 40 billion yuan as of yesterday. Undoubtedly a bigwig in the real economy. Old Mrs. Su smiled kindly. Chairman Gu has graced us with his presence, making the Su family shine brightly. Gu Jinshan turned around and waved his hand. The bodyguards in black outside the door carried 6 large boxes. Gu Jinshan handed over a list with both hands and said, Aunt, this is Kong Kang's gesture, bringing some gifts for Qin He. Old Mrs. Su took it, opened it and was instantly shocked. 200 million in cash, a phoenix crown and a set of luxurious clothes. 166 pieces of gold and silver jewelry. This is clearly a betrothal gift, and a very generous one at that. Su Qinghe spoke, Uncle Gu, Kong Kong. You must be tired after traveling all day. I'll take you to rest. But as the words left his mouth, an old butler rushed in. Sweating profusely, we have distinguished guests at the door. A man with a rainbow-colored beard, dressed casually. He strides in with great vigor. He speaks, Zhang Zhong is here to visit. Old Lady Su, leaning on her cane, rises and bows. It's Commander Zhang who has come. Quickly, please come in, have some tea. No need for trouble, this Zhang Zhong. Please, old lady, accept this. Zhang Zhong Yuan's fingers moved slightly, flicking out a pitch-black card. 3 inches long, 3/10 of an inch wide, thin as a cicada's wing. The front shows a cold blade. The back is a map of the 3 provinces of central China. Old Lady Su's face turned pale, she almost fell over. Gu Kongkong catches the Zhong Yuan, flipping through it back and forth. Frowning, what is this? There's nothing special about it, put it down. In his fear, Gu Jinshan slaps Gu Kongkong across the face. He tells him to put down the Zhong Yuan Iron Union. Only the successive commanders of the Central Plains Iron Alliance can issue this order. Once issued, all special action teams in the 3 provinces of the Central Plains will be mobilized en masse. They will make every effort to eliminate all related individuals, both direct and collateral bloodlines. All will be exterminated. If this Iron Pact is accepted, not a single member of the Su family will survive. Su Qinghe stepped forward to support her. Grandma, what's wrong with you? Don't worry about me, call Xiao Bei, said the old Mrs. Su, regaining her composure. Su Qinghe entered the living room and looked at Zhang Zhongyuan. Was it Ning Bei who sent you? Zhang Zhongyuan's eyes were cold, he didn't answer. But Su Qinghe said disappointedly, he's no different from a spoiled rich kid. Did breaking off the engagement enrage him? He bullied my grandmother, taking advantage of the special operations group. What's the difference between him and a scumbag? After speaking, she took out her phone and dialed Ningbei's number. Once the call was connected, before Su Qinghe could speak, at the gate of the Su family estate, Ningbei's voice came through, "I'm here." Zhang Zhongyuan turned and cupped his hands. "Lord Bei, get out." Ningbei didn't look at him, his hands behind his back. His tone was terrifyingly cold. Zhang Zhongyuan bowed his head and retreated outside. Ningbei walked forward. He took the Zhongyuan iron order from Su Qinghe's hand. His thin lips moved slightly. "This Zhongyuan iron, I, Ningbei, accept. All members of the 3 provinces of Zhongyuan, holding cold blades, may come to kill me. Subordinate dares not." Zhang Zhongyuan kneels on one knee, his face drenched in cold sweat. Su Qinghe, however, sighs in despair and says, "Ningbei, not only are your methods despicable, but you're also a hypocrite. Someone like Zhang Zhongyuan, without your control, who could make him obey? This act you're putting on today, do you think I'm a 3-year-old child, so easily fooled?" Su Qinghe raised her fair left hand. It was about to land on Ningbei's cheek. In an instant, Zhang Zhongyuan drew the sword from his waist. The blade pointed at Su Qinghe's neck. A murderous aura erupted, shaking everyone. If Su Qinghe dared to make a move, Zhang Zhongyuan would kill her with one strike. No one dares to insult King Ningbei. Old Madame Su, heartbroken and furious, "Qinghe, stop. The war god, King Ningbei." Yet someone dares to steal the war god's scientific achievements. Just now, Su Qinghe slapped him, but didn't dare to land it. It didn't even land. If she dares to slap me, Zhang Zhongyuan will dare to slaughter the entire Su family. All those who dare to humiliate the Northern King must die. Su Qinghe's eyes were slightly red. She cried out, "Attack! Let him kill me. You, Northern King, are so powerful, the master of Bailiang army, high and mighty, treating ordinary people as playthings. Zhongyuan, step down." Ningbei's deep gaze fixed on her, angrily admonishing her. A cold blade does not stain with the blood of the innocent, that is the iron rule. It will never harm the elderly or the weak. What truly broke Ningbei's heart was that in Su Qinghe's eyes, he, the Northern King, was this kind of person. Since that's the case, Ningbei wouldn't bother explaining. 13 years ago, on a rainy night, 7-year-old Ningbei experienced the utter despair of being hunted. It was the grandmother in front of him who saved him. She also saved his mother, Qin Huilan. This debt is too great, too heavy. King Ningbei never owes anyone anything in his life, especially not a debt to anyone. He moved his fingers slightly and dropped a golden card. This card contains 10 billion. It can help your Su family solve its financial difficulties. You won't have to be beholden to anyone. Ningbei is repaying a favor. After he turned around, the gold-embroidered qilin on his black cape was exceptionally eye-catching. As Ningbei walked out the door, Jibu stopped and coldly spoke, "Anyone who harms the Su family again." Understood. Zhang Zhongyuan's face turned pale as he turned and left. Old Madame Su seemed much older. Weakly, she said, "Everyone, disperse." Gu Zhenshan didn't dare say anything. He pulled Gu Kongkong around and left. He didn't dare stay any longer. He was already scared. On the wide asphalt road, Ningbei's thin lips moved slightly. "Don't touch the Su family again. Tell the 4 of them the same thing." Zhang Zhongyuan's face was pale, and he quietly retreated. Ningbei spoke softly, "I owe your Su family. It's considered paid back." Meanwhile, at the entrance of the Ning family's home, 3 cars appeared. The parking spaces were already full. An elderly man in a tang suit, looking spirited and sharp, slowly got out of a car, looking around, constantly nodding. Ningbei frowned. How did this old man get here? As soon as the words left his mouth, the elderly man in tang suit saw this side and walked over briskly. "General Ning." A single address, without any issue. Ningbei commands the Northern Liang army. He was once acknowledged as the foremost among 100 generals. He held the martial seal, unparalleled in bearing. 4th Uncle Ning Sangshang approached, exclaiming, "You are old Master Lin." The elder in Tang-style clothing smiled and nodded. He is Lin Zhongshu, the war god of Kyoto. In his youth, serving in the Shadow Department, he forged a fearsome reputation. "You are in charge of the capital's dark forces. What brings you here today?" Ningbei smiled faintly. Lin Zhongshu laughed heartily. The Northern King leaving the capital and returning to Xijing was already startling news. And with the Su family's broken engagement last night, the Northern King, Xiren, is single. He's unmarried. It just so happens my granddaughter is around your age, so I'll shamelessly propose a marriage. Only now did Ningbei understand that the target of these people's marriage proposals today, it was him. The woman's family proposed marriage to him, practically giving their daughter away. It was clearly a desperate attempt. Ningbei furrowed his brows slightly. He hadn't expected them to come for him today. Those who dared to propose marriage without exception, placed anywhere, they are a hegemonic force. Even the Shushan lineage and the cultivators of Zhongnan Mountain came to propose marriage. Over 100 people gathered in the Mingtang Hall. It made Ning Kanglin exhausted trying to cope. "I didn't expect so many big shots to come tonight." Upon seeing Ning Bei, everyone clasped their hands and said, "King Bei, 1 minute, leave the Ning family." Ning Bei showed no mercy, standing. The 100 people in the hall exchanged glances, their faces pale. They turned and quickly left. At this moment, old Madame Su of the Su family lies in bed, saying, "The Zhou family of Jiangdong has experienced 300 years of rise and fall. They rose to prominence during the Qianlong era and are deeply rooted in Jiangdong. Their surface wealth involves 7 industries. Their annual profit is probably in the hundreds of billions. The eldest daughter of the Zhou family, Zhuo Linglong. You've heard of her, right?" Su Qinghe's heart trembled, her teeth gently biting her lip. She nodded slightly. The Jiangdong goddess, at the age of 21, is already a household name in Jiangdong. Old Madame Su said again, "The Chen family of Lingnan, Chen Yuyan, the only daughter of the richest man in Qingzhou, Lu Fenger, the daughter of the prestigious Northern Plains family, and the war god Bei Yuanlan's daughter, Bei Yuan Lulu. Which one did he choose?" Su Qinghe wanted to speak but hesitated. Old Lady Su didn't mock him, instead, she spoke with affection. "He didn't choose anyone, he drove them all out. I knew he would do that, such a bad temper. Never changes, after all these years." Su Qinghe couldn't help but laugh out loud. The old lady sighed. "He also said, if your Ning family brother wants to harm the Su family, he doesn't need to show himself. Just a single order from the Jing group can silently erase us without a trace. You can't understand the power your Ning family brother holds. In the Northern Territory, he is worshipped like a god." The next day, Ning Bei continued teaching at Peking University. Reporters from all over Beijing, armed with cameras and recording equipment, surrounded the school gate, making it impossible to get through. It seemed they were all vying to be the first to interview someone. "What's going on?" Ning Bei looked slightly bewildered. The security guard chuckled. "Dean Ning, you don't know yet. Professor Li's research project in the science building last night had a major breakthrough. Reporters are flocking here now." Ning Bei returned to his office, and found a stunningly beautiful girl, sitting with her legs crossed, lazily stretching. Tang Yuxian chuckled, "Jing Yun's apprenticeship tea. I waited for you two here for hours. He's so impetuous. He couldn't wait and went to play with his buddies." Tang Yuqing's slender fingers gently poured a cup of green tea. She chuckled. "Enough about my little brother, let's talk about you, the genius from Ning University. Can you bring me into the anti-gravity device project at the Tang Group?" Ning Bei chuckled, gave a slight nod, and agreed to the matter. It was originally a small matter, but when it comes to the anti-gravity device, Li Diren has clearly been acting unscrupulously. Related news has already been reported by major media outlets in Beijing. Li Diren and 8 students have all been exposed. Ning Bei's name is conspicuously absent, but this anti-gravity device was entirely created by Ning Bei. Tang Yuxian was so angry she stomped her foot. "These people are too much. Let's go. I'll take you to find them." Ning Bei sat calmly, his fingers tapping lightly on the table. He wasn't in a hurry. Tang Yuxian arrived at the exhibition hall and shouted, "I'm ashamed to have teachers and students like you, and feel ashamed to be deceitful and fabricate, to steal others' achievements and then boast about them. Do you even have any shame?" Hu Qiong suddenly sneered. "You say my lab stole others' achievements. Then I ask you, what evidence do you have?" Ning Bei calmly walked onto the stage. "You want evidence? The components used in this anti-gravity device are all temporary parts. They are experimental items, far from meeting the standards of finished products. After 3 to 5 tests, the machine will be completely scrapped." Hu Qiong sneered. "Ning Bei, the anti-gravity device is perfectly fine. I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. The core components inside have reached their limit. Haven't you noticed the machine noise getting louder?" Ning Bei glanced at the machine, seeing through the pretense. As expected, the hovering machine trembled slightly. Suddenly losing its power source, the machine stopped working. In a blink, it fell to the ground. The machine really broke down. The 2 major groups immediately started vying for him. Gong Feng chased after him, saying, "Professor Ning, wait. Our Eastern organization is willing to provide you with funding to establish a research team. We can equip you with at least 8 professor-level members to assist you in advancing anti-gravity technology." Ning Bei looked at Tang Yusin, chuckling lightly. "Talk to her about this. She'll be in charge of this from now on." Tang Yusin was also incredibly surprised. "Absolutely. Freeway cooperation, all will benefit." Tang Yusin took out her phone and made a call. Her tone was a little cold. "Dad, I've reached an agreement with Ning Bei. Yuxian, good job. I'll arrange for someone to go and discuss the details." The Tang family chairman had just finished speaking. Tang Yuxian's bright eyes dimmed. She seemed to have already guessed this arrangement. She is busy running around, only to hand over the results to someone else in the end. Step back from this matter. Ning Bei stood beside her, holding Tang Yusin's cold little hand. He took the phone and said calmly, "The head of the research lab is Tang Yusin, and you are her father. And you shouldn't bully her. Who are you? It's none of your business what happens in my Tang family." and you don't get to interfere. The Tang family chairman coldly snorted. Ning Bei chuckled lightly. You Xin and Jing Yun's personalities suit my temperament. I haven't had many friends in my life. Now that I'm back in Zhujing, this brother and sister are my friends. If you, the Tang family, bully her again, I will erase the Tang family from the capital. Ning Bei spoke calmly, yet his words held an undeniable domineering aura. Someone in China dared to investigate war god Ning Bei's files at the military headquarters. Just now, Ning Bei spoke calmly, but it was hard to conceal a sense of dominance. He spoke to the chairman of the Tang family. If your Tang family continues to bully her, I will have your Tang family removed from the capital. Tang Yusin's eyes reddened, and her nose tingled. She couldn't help but turn her head and quietly wipe away her tears. She angrily muttered, "Stupid Ning Bei, always boasting and talking big." Tang Jingyun ran over from afar. He suspiciously asked, "Why are you crying? Ning Gu, did you bully my sister?" "It's none of your business." Tang Yusin glared at him. Tang Yusin scolded, "Alright, stop being so restless all the time. Weren't you going to take Ning Bei as your master? He's right here. We're the same age. Forget about becoming master and disciple. Ning Bei has never taken on a disciple in his life. He's also the same age as Tang Jingyun. Being friends is enough." Ning Bei chuckled. "It's you, Yu Feng, who came looking for trouble. Third brother, you didn't tell me a single thing about what concerns you. Not a word." Tang Jingyun looked furious. He and Yu Feng have been brothers for 20 years, yet he was kept in the dark about Ning Bei. Next, Tang Yusin will be in charge of the research lab. Su Qingye helped transport various equipment. As dusk fell, the largest research lab in Peking University's science building was born. Su Qingye spoke, "Professor Ning, establishing the institute here, the supporting equipment, and the location, are all better elsewhere, and the environment is peaceful, undisturbed, making it more suitable for research." Right at the door of the lab, a refined middle-aged man appeared. Although he was dressed in casual clothes, Colonel Su Qingye's pupils constricted slightly. He saw the insignia on the middle-aged man's shoulder. Abroad, this would be a brigadier general. Although the research lab is newly established, no one can enter without a security card. The person who brought them in is President Sun Zheng of Zhu University. Sun Zheng said enthusiastically, "Come, let me introduce you. This is Mr. Pei Gang, from the Research Institute of the Aviation Engineering University. And this is Professor Ning. I know, the youngest dean-level professor since the university's founding. He created the world's first anti-gravity device." Pei Gang strode forward, wanting to shake hands. Ning Bei stood with his hands behind his back, glancing at him. He probably guessed his intentions. The emergence of the world's first anti-gravity device is imaginable. It has already caused a huge stir abroad. Various parties haven't even had time to contact each other. Now that Pei Gang has arrived, wearing a formal military uniform, there's no need to say what it represents. I'm afraid the military also attaches great importance to this. Pei Gang asked, "Professor Ning, the top scientists I bring to you will assist you in setting up a research team, a total of 89 people. You and I will co-chair the team. Additionally, all expenses for the research lab will be covered by our country. Everything from food, clothing, to housing will be fully covered by us." This logo alone is enough to make Xiao Jingji cry. Throughout all of China, the golden knife logo, everyone knows it. This golden knife logo only exists on 10 banners in the Beiliang army. They belong to the 10 legion commanders of the Beiliang army. At this moment, Pei Gang, in his military uniform, implicitly represents the military department. Ning Bei stood with his hands behind his back, calmly saying, "Leave the man, take the money." Huh? Pei Gang was instantly stunned. Why doesn't this young man care about money? This has him a bit confused. Ning Beiqian smiled, "I'm not short of money. Before you came, didn't you investigate him? He is the legitimate eldest son of the Ning family, the future heir of the Ning Group. A few days ago, the Ning family and PG Group secured $1 billion financing. And it's in USD, they certainly aren't short on money." Tang Yusin sat at the table, resting her chin lazily as she spoke. Pei Gang gave a wry smile. Truly, the wealthy family produces talented offspring. But this money, it really is a reward given to Professor Ning by those above. I'll take it back again. I'm guaranteed to be criticized. Do you know, the country has been kind to me, a nurturing kindness. Ning Bei didn't avoid this question. Pei Gang was instantly stunned, somewhat confused. Ning Bei said softly, "When I was 7, there was an accident. Far from my homeland, I went to the northern border and grew up in the Beiliang Military Academy. Those strong and resolute men protected me as I grew up. 13 years of nurturing grace, countless heavens." Now it's Pei Gang's turn to be shocked. He knows of Beiliang Military Academy in the north. It's considered the highest academy for military strategists. This young man before me was actually there at the age of 7, and grew up there. He spoke solemnly, a graduate of Beiliang Military Academy, serving in the Beiliang Army, standing before the national gate, guarding our Huaxia border, repelling foreign enemies. Guarding the country, you are. Ning Bei. Those two words leave his mouth. Ning Bei's name will not change. A look of recollection appears in Pei Gang's eyes. This name is truly unfamiliar. Pei Gang chuckled wryly, putting away the gold card. There was something else in his eyes. He inexplicably felt a sense of kinship with Ning Bei. After a moment's thought, he went out and made a call. Old Zhao. It's done. That kid agreed. I told you before we left. This kind of thing wouldn't be a problem for us, the people of Mujing. Then old Zhao said. But Pei Gang just smiled wryly. The money wasn't accepted. Pei Gang helplessly said. Professor Ning absolutely refused it. What can I do about it? And let me let you in on a little secret. They might even be our comrades in arms. Okay, help me check Professor Ning's background. The information you provided is too little. Everything before age 7, but after that, a 13-year gap. Are you kidding me? In the end, old Zhao said with a serious tone, I can't find anything. The file in your hands was actually compiled and found by a contact of mine in Beijing. You can't find anything. Pei Gang was stunned. Old Zhao, embarrassed and angry, snapped. What do you know? This Jian shows personal information. Do you know what it shows in my internal system? Tell me. Pei Gang was curious. Lao Zhao roared. 3S level top secret files. Call ended. Pei Gang was left alone, stunned and dazed for a long time. SS level personal information, top secret file. Just what is this boy's background? Pei Gang inexplicably felt a chill. In the research lab, Ning Bei answered the phone. Yuan Shan. What is it? Ning Xiao, the brothers below detected. Someone is collecting your information. The one collecting it is Zhao Jingji. Xiao Yuan Shan's Xi Jing group, their abilities are that strong. It's fine, don't worry about it. Ning Bei hangs up the phone. Guess who collected his information? As Pei Gang walked in, Ning Bei lowered his head, sketching, and said indifferently, How do you like my personal information from when I was 7 years old? Pei Gang froze for a moment upon entering, and then his whole body felt a chill. The great king of northern border of China. Someone actually dared to investigate him at the military department. The wolf of eastern capital, commander of the top 10 legions of the northern border's war god, instantly mobilized. Just as Pei Gang walked in, he froze for a moment. In an instant, his scalp went numb. Because Ning Beijian immediately found out that he went to the military department to investigate the files. Pei Gang isn't stupid. After coming to his senses, realizing everything he'd done, the boy before him actually knew it all. This kid, is he human or a ghost? His methods are unbelievable. Ning Bei's sketching speed was incredibly fast. All the intricate components were perfectly accurate. Manufacturing them according to the actual scale would work perfectly. With his hands clasped behind his back, he began. This anti-gravity device is something I designed and developed at the age of 17. The future focus of research will be the energy source for the anti-gravity device, and the ion ring, which is a key component, including the load-bearing issue. Pei Gang spoke up. I'll arrange for 1 billion in research funding right away. This lab is full of people who don't care about money. Ning Bei said softly. The research fund for the lab is solely borne by the Tang Group. Yusin, what do you think of the problem? No problem. Tang Yusin nodded with a pretty voice. This lab was originally a 3-party collaboration. Now, with Pei Gang, it's a 4-party collaboration. Pei Gang couldn't help but say, Professor Ning, I can provide even greater assistance. I won't take a single cent of the military's money. All the lab's technology. We will share updates with you in real time, whenever necessary. You can withdraw people and conduct independent research. Ning Bei's words shocked everyone in the research room. Who exactly is this young man? The core technology of the anti-gravity device. It's enough to make him a guest of honor in over 100 countries. As long as the word gets out, there's no telling how many foreign forces would offer sky-high conditions to poach him. Ning Bei chuckled lightly. The crow repays the feeding, like the sheep kneels to drink. This prosperous China is what I, Ning Bei, will dedicate my life to protect. I will help without needing any reason. Pei Gang stood tall like a spear, saluting Ning Bei. An elderly man with white hair spoke. Professor Ning, we have no clue about the energy substitution issue for the anti-gravity device. Could you give us some direction? Ning Bei's thin lips moved. The anti-gravity device and energy. Sometimes it's conflicting. Earlier in Li Diren's lab, I mentioned. We should first study the anti-gravity device. Once the prototype is ready, then study the anti-gravity propulsion system. Let me treat you to a meal. Minggu, let's go. We've been busy all day, I'm starving. Tang Jingyun is also a foodie. Ning Bei smiled faintly. The three of them went together. They left Jida and went to a restaurant outside to eat. Meanwhile, Pei Gang, on his way back, sat in his warrior off-road vehicle, closing his eyes to rest. But his phone rang. Pei Gang looked at his phone screen, his face turning serious. He answered the call. Xing Duan didn't reveal his identity. A low male voice said, You are Pei Gang. Yes, it's me. Pei Gang admits his identity. A low, indifferent male voice. Please go to Zhao Jingji's residence. We'll wait for you there. The voice abruptly ends. It's clear the call has been disconnected. Inside a large building, Zhao Jingji stands silently at his desk. I'm completely relaxed. In his usual seat sat a strong young man. He seemed languid, but the cold glint in his eyes occasionally sent shivers down one's spine. This is the terrifying aura of a killer. This man's uniform is made of jet black fabric. Throughout the land, across the vast expanse of our Huaxia territory, east, west, south, north, and the central plains, all the garrisoned armies, only one army's uniform is black. That is the Bailiang army of the northern border. Yawning, he shows a golden, cool-bladed knife embroidered on his black chest. Lu Xian was startled and blocked with his arm. But Tang Jingyan's leg power exceeded his expectations. With just a single side kick, Lu Xian felt a sharp pain in his internal organs. His vision blurred, and he stumbled back more than 10 steps. Seeing this, Xiao Ao exclaimed, a martial artist. The person in front of us is a commander-level figure from the pacification army. Has Pei just arrived? The tough young man asked calmly. Standing beside him were 4 men in black. They wore black cloth on their heads, and one of them spoke. He's already downstairs. As soon as Pei Gang got out of the car, he walked into the corridor. He saw 6 people standing in the corridor, all dressed in black. Each one displaying the Bailiang dagger on their chest. Pei Gang exclaimed, people from the northern border, please come in, someone is waiting for you. The black-clad man at the door said indifferently. Pei Gang entered the office and saw Zhao Jingji standing. He turned to look at the strong young man sitting in the chair. His pupils suddenly constricted. He saw on the young man's chest was embroidered a golden Bailiang king's knife. No doubt, this person is definitely one of the top 10 legion commanders of the Pingwan army. His youthfulness is not just a matter of appearance, it signifies he's a 9th-rank war god. The top 10 legion commanders of the Bailiang army, 10 incredibly terrifying war gods, each with their own unique title. It is said that the 10 great gods of war are the loyal followers of the king of Bailiang. Pei Gang was a little startled. Hello, I'm Pei Gang. Did you call me, sir? Yes, it's me. Originally, your investigation into Ningbei wasn't something I should be involved in. But I applied for retirement. My home is in Jijing. Then I took this job with the Ministry of War. On the way home, I'll deal with you all. The tough young man smiled faintly. Zhao Jingji's eyelid twitched. Wait, we didn't provoke you. We haven't offended you. My name is Xiao Dong, and you investigated the wrong person. At this moment, Zhao Jingji was stunned. The Bailiang army. Xiao Dong, known as the Wolf of Dongdu. The Wolf of Dongdu, 3 years ago. Because his 7th Legion brothers fought off an invasion of foreign tribes, with over 10,000 casualties. His 1st Legion, Xi Jinping was beaten to a pulp. Xiao Dong, the Wolf of Dongdu, a regiment commander, was consumed by rage that night. He shed his uniform and, alone, crossed the border into a foreign country. He penetrated 800 li into enemy territory. He fought his way through 5 of their city districts. We found the enemy's 2 corps retreating to the rear for rest. More than 20,000 men, overnight, were all annihilated by you. This cemented your fearsome reputation as the Wolf of Dongdu. It was because of this incident that you were forced into early retirement. But Lord Bei disagreed, forcefully suppressing this matter. Forcibly kept you in the northern border for 3 years. Xiao Dong said softly, not bad. You even investigated me. Don't misunderstand, that matter was a huge scandal back then. Many martial artists in the outside world knew about it. Zhao Jingji gave a bitter smile. Xiao Dong looked out the window at the dark night and smiled faintly. It's getting late. Do either of you have any last words? You'd like to leave? Pei Gang was startled. You just said, we investigated people we shouldn't have. Is this person Ningbei? You actually guessed it. Xiao Dong smiled ambiguously. Pei Gang explained, I know Professor Ning. He lives in Zhu University. Tian. Professor Ning. He sure knows how to play it cool. He went to Peking University to be a professor. Xiao Dong couldn't help but roll his eyes. The mighty overlord of the northern border, secretly leaving and returning to Beijing, to become a university professor. This made Xiao Dong say, it seems he's truly tired of life in the northern border. Saying this, Xiao Dong never intended to kill Pei Gang and the others. He just wanted to scare them, to make them stop investigating Ningbei. After Xiao Dong left with his 10 men, Zhao Jingji and Pei Gang were drenched in sweat. The two exchanged a glance and smiled wryly. I was really scared. someone dared to flirt with Tang Yusin in front of Ningbei Wan, the war god of the north. Ningbei coldly uttered one word, disable them all. Seeing someone backing him up, Tang Jingyun no longer hesitated. Xiao Aqiao smiled charmingly, little brother. That's interesting. Lu Xian may be a blockhead, but his fighting skills. Last year he beat the Sonda champion of Mujing so badly he couldn't get out of bed for 2 months. Don't cry later, kid. Tang Jingyun didn't bother with words, he kicked sideways. Knowing that today's matter can be resolved, members of the Shenjing group are present. No martial artist would dare to act recklessly. The next moment, Han Li appeared, wielding a cold blade and kneeling on one knee, surprising everyone. To be able to severely injure Lu Xian with one kick, he must be a martial artist. Such a young martial artist must have someone cultivating him. Xiao Aqiao's face changed drastically, knowing that it's fine if they were ordinary people, but if he's a martial artist, then he's not someone they, as ordinary people, can provoke. Stop. Xiao Aqiao hurriedly gave the order, no longer daring to offend anyone. Tang Jingyun struck continuously, taking out one person with a single kick. When the security guards made contact, they were blasted away by immense force, bleeding. Half of them were incapacitated, losing their combat ability. He sneered, big sister, you think stopping means stopping? You're being naive. Only Lu Xian recovered and rushed forward, blocking Tang Jingyun. He roared, everyone, retreat to the hotel. You're no match for him. Ning Ji, what do we do? Tang Jingyun saw that Lu Xian was a real man. He dared to rush forward to his death for his brothers. If we continue fighting, he's truly useless. Lu Xian wiped the blood off the corner of his mouth. The sunlight inadvertently fell on Ning Bei. I didn't expect this young man to be the one hiding the deepest. Ning Bei glanced at him. Even if I retire, I'm still a soldier of the army. I may have fallen to this state, but I'll never be like you. It's a disgrace. What? You are? Lu Xian was startled. But not far away, a young man in black, martial arts clothing approached. His face was gloomy, and a killing aura faintly emanated from his body. Xiao Aqiao turned her head, and with a mixture of surprise and grievance, she said, Mr. Han, welcome. There are martial artists bullying ordinary people here. Aren't you going to do something about it? The young man in black attire is Han Li. He drew the black dagger from his waist, a murderous aura rising. It made Xiao Aqiang breathe a sigh of relief. I know this matter can be solved today. Members of the Shenjing group arrived. No warrior dares to cause wanton chaos. The next moment I saw Han Li Daoqian, kneeling on one knee holding a cold knife. Surprised everyone. He roared, Han Li of the Jijing prefecture pays his respects to the northern king. Everyone looked towards the young man standing with his hands behind his back. He looked too young. Like a handsome, calm youth. Calm and fearless in the face of any worldly turmoil. He is Ning Bei, a figure of king-level status. Xiao Aoqiao's delicate white hands covered her cherry-red mouth, which had formed a perfect O shape in shock. Her phoenix-like eyes were full of astonishment. She couldn't believe what she had just heard. Han Li is a member of the Jijing group. He governs and controls all martial artists within his jurisdiction. But now, he personally performs the grand ceremony, addressing the other party as the Northern King. Xiao Aqiao was truly stunned. She has run the city that never sleeps for 10 whole years. She has come into contact with all sorts of people. Over the years, she has also met martial artists from other regions. I heard them talk about a legendary figure from the north after drinking. His name is Taboo, a warrior whose name is forbidden to speak. That person is the Northern King, the overlord of the north. He is the living legend of today's Chinese martial arts world. He is hailed as a millennium wonder. At 7, he began martial arts training, and was appointed a general, stunning everyone. At 9, he was deified, reaching the level of a war god. Among those of the same rank, he relied on his youthful body to slay 9 invading war gods from foreign lands. On his 13th birthday, this prodigy's signature weapon was forged. It happened that a foreign enemy from the north invaded our border. Alone, I faced an enemy army of 100,000. I annihilated them all. In that battle, the bones piled up like mountains. The overlord of the north, unmatched in the world. At the age of 15, I was ennobled, the young marquis of the north, stunning the world. Finally, at the age of 17, she was crowned king on the peak of Liangshan Mountain. Boss Wu sensed something was wrong. Big sister, they injured your people. We can't just let this go. Oh. How do you want to settle this? A young man appeared at the back of the crowd. 10 young men in black followed him. The wolf of eastern capital, Xiao Dong. He really brought them here. Boss Wu's face turned ugly. He didn't expect this to happen so quickly. So many people are interfering. He suppressed his anger. Who are you? Me. Just a nobody. Xiao Dong responded, approaching him, and unexpectedly broke into a simple smile. Big brother. That single, big brother, was filled with 10 years of brotherhood. Ning Bei chuckled. 3 years ago, you slaughtered your way through 800 li of a foreign country, killing over 30,000 enemies. The impact was too great. Although I stepped in at the time, I could only protect you for 3 years at most. Now that you're retiring, have you thought about what you want to do? You really are willing to let me leave the northern border? Xiao Dong rolled his eyes. He knew Ning Bei all too well. He definitely wouldn't let him off easily. Now that he's back in Jijing, at most, he'll just take some time off. Han Li, upon hearing this, exclaimed, "You're the wolf of Dongdu." Master Xiao Dong. Those from the Zhujing group, this place is in central China. It's under that guy Zhang Zhongyuan, right? Xiao Dong isn't under Zhang Zhongyuan. Zhang Zhongyuan is in the northern region. Back then, he was beaten to a pulp by Xiao Dong. According to the rules of the northern region, the weak are sent away. The strong remain in the Bailiang army. Back then, Zhang Zhongyuan left the northern border. Because he was beaten to a breakdown by Xiao Dong, he was extremely reluctant, and came here to serve as the Central Plains commander. Han Li's gaze was awestruck. He retreated to the side. Xiao Dong said to Boss Wu, impatiently, "This kind of small fry, just chop them up." The god of the mortal realm, the king of northern Liang. If anyone wants to bully his northern Liang army, then they must first ask him, the master of the northern frontier, if he agrees. Just now, Xiao Dong from the Wolf of Dongdu said to Boss Wu in an unfriendly tone, "These small fries." One sentence nearly scared Boss Wu into wetting himself. Where did these people come from? They exude evil from every angle. In an instant, he drew a black curved knife from his waist. Ning Bei chuckled wryly, "All right, don't scare the person to death later." Ning Bei told Xiao Dong everything that happened at the intersection that day. He told him everything. Xiao Dong, without saying a word, turned and rushed home. He hadn't been home for 10 years. "We were remiss in our hospitality just now." Han Li stood at the door. He said indifferently, "We can close for the night." Xiao Aoqiao's face was pale. Since learning Ning Bei's identity, she had been filled with fear. Such a monumental figure actually appeared at her shop's doorstep. Instead of seizing the opportunity to build a connection, she ended up offending him. He was directly split in two. At this moment, someone quickly arrived. The emblem of the Northern King knife on his chest. Another non-official member of the Zhijing group. Cold sweat is pouring down, and he reeks of blood. A C2 level wanted criminal appears. I ran into him by accident. I nearly got killed by him. Fu Bo forces out a smile that's even uglier than crying. Xiao Aqiao said calmly, "Mr. Han." Xiao Aqiao smiled wryly, "I don't know. He's a warrior-level martial artist. Unless our team leader, Xiao, from the Jing team personally makes a move, no one can stop him. If he comes after us, I can destroy your Golden Casket City." Xiao Aqiao hesitated not, a bitter smile on her lips. "I have eyes but fail to recognize Mount Tai. I have already offended the Northern King. To offend your Jujing group again in the future, this Jujing will have no place for me, Xiao Aqiao. Saving people is urgent. Come in." At this moment, Fu Bo hoarsely said, "He's here." Wood chips flew. He forcefully entered. He is the person Fu Bo was talking about. He is the C2 level martial artist wanted by the Special Operations Team, Gung Bao. His gaze landed on Xiao Aqiao. Gung Bao sneered, "I didn't expect there to be such a beauty hidden here. Looks like I'm in for some luck tonight." Fu Bo struggled to get up. Han Li frowned, "While the team leader isn't here, you have a chance to escape from Beijing." Gung Bao said with a fierce tone, "I'll kill you both first, then escape. It's not too late. For the past 6 months, I've been hunted by special task forces from all over the country. I've had enough of it. Today, I'm going to kill both of you to vent my anger." Gung Bao is a warrior-level fighter. His speed, strength, and reaction time all surpass Han Li's. The meat palm struck the back of the cold knife. The cold knife flew backward, slipping from his hand. Han Li was sent flying by a single palm strike. Fu Bo's face turned grim. It's not C2 level, it's C3 level. There has never been a case of leaving brothers behind and fleeing alone. A fire of anger flickered in Han Li's eyes. Fu Bo thinks he's looking down on him. Gung Bao Wei laughs wildly, the trash from the Zhijing group. "Today, you two are both going to die." At the height of his arrogant delight, a calm and gentle voice sounded. Ning Bei slowly entered the room. But Han Li let out a sigh of relief. Fu Bo was lying on the ground, struggling to get up. Ning Bei suddenly turned around. One less person will die. Don't you think it's too late? Gung Bao charged toward Ning Bei's back, but he didn't know Ning Bei suddenly bent down. He completely missed. Ning Bei didn't turn to leave, but bent down to pick something up. That thing was Fu Bo's dropped 3-foot-long blade. Who said I was running away? For a moment, Ning Bei's speed was blinding. He approached Fu Bo. Bending down, he helped him up. Gung Bao suddenly felt a chill in his heart. The terrifying sensation made his body unintentionally break out in a cold sweat. He was actually scared. The lights in the entire living room suddenly dimmed. In everyone's eyes, there is only this final strike. This was his last will. In a single breath, the blade split a person in two. In northern Liang, during wartime, losing one's weapon in battle is a serious offense. It is to be reported to the Golden Goblet restaurant. Xiao Aoqiao's eyes shone with admiration. She felt awe in her heart. The northern king, his reputation is well deserved. Xiao Yuanshan arrived powerfully. Upon seeing this terrible scene, he asked, "Where is Gung Bao?" Han Li pointed at the corpse on the ground. Xiao Yuanshan furrowed his brows. "Did you too kill him?" The mighty god of war of Huaxia, the king of Zhenbei, actually turned into a worthless son-in-law, treated as an outsider by the Tang family, one of the 7 great families. Ning Bei and the others returned to the Tang family's manor. Tang Yusin instructed the kitchen. The banquet is delivered to her small villa. We have guests at home. The noblewoman is Tang's mother. She is the wife of Tang Guyuan, the 3rd-generation head of the Tang family. It's like a mother-in-law looking at her son-in-law. Tang Yusin, Mom, let me introduce you to F. This is Ning Bei. Back then, among the 3rd generation of the 7 great families' young people, he was the first to become a martial artist. I still remember it vividly. There's more to what Madame Tang said. Ning Bei instantly understood and calmly stood up. Tang Yuxian was startled. The dishes aren't all here yet. Besides, you've only been here for less than 20 minutes. Is the food not to your liking? I'll have the kitchen change it. Have the kitchen prepare a whole new set of dishes. Her demeanor was rather domineering. She had a whole new set of dishes prepared as soon as she entered. Tang Gu asked directly, "Ning family boy, didn't we speak on the phone this afternoon?" Tang Yusin had a bad feeling and wanted to change the subject. He roared, "It was you, boy. You dared to tell me to remove the Tang family from the capital. Even Ning Fuguo wouldn't dare say such a thing. I want to know, where you get the nerve from?" The Tang family has stood strong in Beijing for decades without falling. Even the authorities wouldn't dare to touch them easily. Seeing this, Mother Tang spoke up, "Gu Yuan, calm down. You should know Yuxian's background, right? The precious pearl of the Tang family." Ning Bei's smile was like the wind. This smile made Tang Jingyun, standing outside the door, suddenly feel an overwhelming chill. Earlier, Fu Bo was killed with a single strike, while Ning Bei was smiling and talking. With your status in the Ning family, you're still far from being able to pursue Yuxian. Only someone like Ning Hao would stand a chance. To put it plainly, Yuxian's marriage is not her own to decide. If she were to marry, it would have to be the heir of one of the 7 great families. Those words are a blatant insult. Having said this, Ning Bei suddenly laughed. Tang's mother frowned. "What are you laughing at? Just now you asked me if I knew Yuxian's identity. But do you know my identity?" Ning Bei suddenly didn't want to leave. Just that one softly spoken question. This left Tang Guyuan and his wife momentarily stunned. Tang Guyuan frowned. "Your Ning family's disowned status." "The Ning family line has already returned to the Ning family," Tang Jingyun reminded helplessly. "I don't want to see your father get cleaved into a tragic mess like Gung Bao by Ning Bei." Tang Guyuan's expression darkened slightly. "So what? Such an identity is not enough to shake the Tang family." Ning Bei chuckled lightly, wearing a white shirt. Actually, there was something special about it, because he had put the shirt on inside out. It had been strictly reviewed by the Northern Liang Army, to prevent someone from poisoning. This white top. The inner sleeve has a qilin pattern. It's like a piece of white silk fabric, falling on the table. It will let you know something different. Tang Yuan is a shrewd person. He can tell there's something special about this pattern. It's not printed on, it's embroidered with golden threads. He takes out his phone to take a photo. He sends it to an important contact in the provincial capital whom he doesn't often keep in touch with. Before a minute passes, the other person calls. Whose call is it? Then he saw the caller ID. His expression suddenly changed. He looked at Ning Bei with a bit more surprise in his eyes. Tang Yuan answered the phone, his tone considerably more respectful. I just casually sent the little Qilin pattern. Ask about the origin. This sleeve, where did you get it from? Yun Bo's voice was low. Tang Yuan cautiously asked, a junior just tore it off from a piece of clothing. It's nothing, right? There's nothing wrong with it, is there? I think your family is tired of living. He even dared to provoke him. Uncle Yun's sudden fury scared Tang Yuan. You have to know, this Uncle Yun is a high-level warrior. No one expected him to say such words. This Uncle Yun is not just angry, he's also scared. Ning Bei sat calmly on the side, with a gentle smile. Wen Bao is nearby, yet Tang Yuan inexplicably felt a chill run down his spine. Are you exaggerating? The owner of this garment. Don't say you can't afford to offend him. Even I, upon encountering him, would have to kneel and properly greet him. Do you know of the 5 great commanders of the world? Tang Gu was almost scared silly, completely dumbfounded. He secretly wondered if Ning Bei wasn't one of the 5 commanders. The 5 commander adults control the nation's special action teams. All are his subordinates. Yun Bo hung up the phone, not daring to contact him again. Tang Yuan was struck like lightning. His phone silently slipped from his hand. He was completely dumbfounded. Even the sister of the glorious war god dares to be touched. The Jinbei king furiously drew his North King's blade. Just now, Ningbei coldly ordered, transmit my North King's order. Tonight, seal off the capital. The frigid voice sent shivers down Xiao Yuanshan and the others. Their bodies turned icy cold. They were shaken by the murderous aura emanating from the Bei Wang Dao, North King blade. Xiao Yuanshan's face was covered in cold sweat. He said in a low voice, quickly. Report everything here. Report the situation here immediately. Huazhong Tai Group office building. In the lounge on the top floor. Beside her, the gentle and delicate Chen Qingru softly inquires. Commander, how should we handle this? What can we do? Xiao Dong, that bastard, is no pushover. The formidable wolf of the eastern capital. The ruthless man who slaughtered his way through 800 li of foreign lands back then. If you piss him off, this madman dares to slaughter our entire team. Zhang Zhongyuan coldly snorted, remembering the days he was beaten up by Xiao Dong. Two of Beiliang's 10 most ruthless men, Xiao the madman, and Chu the timorous. Not a single good person among them. At this moment, on Bian Road, Xiao Dong is walking down the street at night. His entire presence exudes a cold and murderous aura. As the breeze brushes by, Ningbei stands with his hands behind his back. Standing on top of a cypress tree beside him, his toes lightly tapping the leaves. It remained perfectly still. Who says I'm going to stop you? Ningbei said calmly, you call me brother. You are my comrade and brother. That woman is my sister, Ningbei's sister. Tonight, those who bully her will all die. Ningbei's eyes flashed with killing intent. Xiao Yuanshan arrived swiftly. He quickly handed over a phone. Young Master Ning. This is the video footage from the street corner camera. Ningbei watched the video, Xiao Yiren riding a bicycle, wearing earphones and listening to a lecture. I was suddenly pushed while passing by the intersection. I fell off my bike and hit the ground, pain making my eyes tear up. A yellow-haired thug appeared in the scene. He had earrings on his ears. He started getting physical with Xiao Yiren.